welcome to Sorta, my podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human. Sitting to my right,
Mr. Bob Collins, also known as Boba Fett, and straight ahead of me is...
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Chellraiser won't be joining us this week because she is working, but in her absence, we've still got a lot of great stuff for you.
Absolutely.
We're going to be doing a group review of both Green Lantern's Rebirth and Green Lantern's #1. And then we're going to move on to comics. We've got a lot of great movie news for you. Then we're going to move on to the biggest movie news of this whole past week, which is
Ghostbusters 2. Shit, never mind.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. But you know what? This wasn't a part of my notes on the quick movie news. But we listened to the new Ghostbusters theme in the car on the way back from the
Oh my god.
It's, what is it, Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott?
Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott.
It's so
just...
fucking awful.
And
I heard
Fall
part
Out
of
Boy.
that's what I'm going to say. Like, I love Fall Out Boy. I don't hate Missy Elliott.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
But I heard a snippet of it. I mean, I kind of dig that they're still, it's the same song. But, at least what I heard was.
It's the same lyrics.
It's
Okay,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
lyrics. Because
Yeah, but
musically,
definitely not the... Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
what I
match
mean.
up at all. And then you've got the chicks in the background saying, Ghostbuster, it seems so out of place. It's just, ugh. And then Missy Elliott comes in with her
This whole
fucking
movie
rap.
seems out of place.
Well, the trailers have me excited enough. I'm not all for it, but at the same time, that last trailer really saved it for me. I was like, cool. And then I heard this song, and I'm like, this is going to be fucking
Is
terrible.
there a new trailer out?
There's 2 trailers.
Okay, then
there was that
I've
first
watched the
one
second one.
everyone hated.
The
and
second
the
one was
second
better.
one was way better.
I'm still not 100% on the visuals of the ghosts and all, but
yeah.
One did look like
since
Dan Aykroyd, which is pretty cool.
I'm not I'm still not sure if this is a sequel or a reboot because they keep billing it as both.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I initially wasn't on board until Bill Murray put out his statement about it after meeting the cast, seeing some of what was going on.
Yeah.
And he himself said that these are some really funny ladies. That's why he agreed to take
Yeah,
a part
that's
in the
fine.
movie.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're funny in that movie.
Yeah,
That doesn't
or
mean
that the
the
movie
is
itself
funny.
is going to be good. They
But
might
the
be
one-
funny and the movie might be trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. Anyways,
Yeah. I'm not as excited as I feel like I should be, considering how much I love the original 2.
well, yeah. When
And the real
first heard-
Ghostbusters cartoon,
When I first heard about an all-female cast, it didn't faze me. I was like, okay, sure, why not? Whatever. Now tell us about the movie. And then they started to tell us about the movie, and I was like, are you sure? So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to try and go neutral like I did with the first Ninja Turtles. And hopefully, like the first Ninja Turtles, I love it. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I won't like this one more than the originals.
No.
Unlike the Turtles, because I ended up liking the new movie more. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here with Green Lantern Rebirth. Not to be confused. Yeah, well, that's difficult, because it's never been Green Lanterns before. It's always been
Green Lantern or Hal Jordan.
And now they've got Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps.
Which before
And
was
then
just Green Lantern Corps.
Don't they have a third one that's going to be Green Lantern Corps?
I think so. I think we're getting a total of 3 different Green Lantern styles.
I mean, honestly, with New 52, they had a handful of different...
Yeah. Well, they had a Red Lanterns book, which, skyrocketed Atrocitus to whole new
they had a
level.
bunch of other ones that were like Larfleeze, Sinestro.
Yeah,
I think they had
bunch
some
of,
minis.
mini in there.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
Although the Red Lanterns was an
It
actual...
it lasted for a little while.
But yeah, we're doing Green Lanterns Rebirth. Got a big old one on the front there, not to be confused with Green Lanterns #1. Although it will be.
It is.
It will be. Alright, so we start out, we've got a good view of the galaxy here, a lot of great, colorful stardust, and some overlaying text coming from a Red Lantern talking about the character of Will, of Hal Jordan, and then saying he's a problem. Talking about Jon Stewart and his background, saying that he's a problem. Then they quickly go over Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner real quick. They're like, they're problems too.
They don't even get. They have to share a word box.
They
don't even get their own
collected.
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta. But apparently, this Red Lantern has some sort of vision of the future and nobody else can seem to see what he sees. We turn the page, and there is a guardian. I almost forgot what they were called. There's a guardian running from this entire race of aliens with a box. And apparently he's the last guardian. He's a lost guardian. I just dropped my notes on the floor. and he's trying to protect something that he created, something that was forbidden, and apparently it's a new ring. He's about to get overtaken by these aliens when he opens the box and a rainbow of colors shoots out. I don't know if it kills everything. It doesn't really show what happens after that, or if it just teleports.
What symbol is that comes out of it?
There's no symbol.
It's
Is that supposed to be a symbol?
It looks
kind
like,
of looks
I thought
like
it was just random dashes, but now that I look at it, yeah.
It could be a symbol.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a new ring, so it's probably the symbol for that ring. The rainbow ring.
Hi.
The Red Lantern text box ends by saying, not even the Green Lanterns of Earth will escape from whatever is coming that he's seen. And we jump to Simon Baz, who is scrubbing the word terrorist off of the garage at his sister's house, when a person shows up in a black suit, says, "You missed your check-in." Apparently, he's supposed to have been checking in with the FBI and giving them information on the Green Lanterns because he was accused of some sort of terrorist act, which he didn't commit.
It was actually, he stole a car with explosives in the back.
Yeah,
the
that's
exact
right.
words.
And they got labeled as a terrorist and stuff.
And he got his ring when he was in jail.
Guantanamo Bay,
For
actually.
that situation. Yeah. Good points, guys. These should have been in my notes.
That's what we're here for, man.
Anyways, they're having a back and forth about what he should be doing and all that. When the guy asks for one of the brushes he's working with because he's going to help. They're about to clean this garage together, and Simon's ring goes off saying code 109, unknown spacecraft entered terrestrial atmosphere, respond immediately. So he goes off to do that. Then we cut to a tennis court. Is that a tennis court? No, that's a soccer field. We cut to a soccer field where we see, what is her name?
Her name's
again?
Jessica
She's
what,
very
Cruz?
new.
Yeah,
Jessica
Jessica
Cruz.
Cruz.
Yeah, we see Jessica Cruz, and she's
She was Power
monologuing.
Ring in New 52, like in the Dark Side War storyline. That's actually when she gained the actual Green Lantern ring.
She's monologuing about the ring and about being somewhat of an introvert and having anxiety, and she doesn't know why she's out there. When she sees her sister, who runs up and hugs her, and is so happy that she got out of the house, and they're talking about the fact that she's now homeless, Jessica, and that she should move in with her sister when Jessica's ring goes off, another code 109. So, both lanterns show up on the scene, meeting each other for the first time. Jessica thinking she was the only one, Simon thinking he was the only one outside of the others, and they have a little bit of a back and forth until they're talking about the specific lanterns, and
Simon's telling her that the only way that someone can get a ring is if a previous lantern dies.
Exactly, and he asks if someone dies, and he's asking her to please tell him it's Guy Gardner. I immediately want this book. Because, like, okay, and, like, I would love this if they just did a Rebirth one-shot where the entire Justice League shows up outside of what I assume is Guy Gardner's job, working as a frontier customer service representative.
Oh my god.
and they just pick him up, they take him to the secluded place, and it's an 80-page epic where they just flip him off panel by panel before Dr. Manhattan finally reveals himself and kills Guy Gardner. Best book. They could charge me $20 for it. And I'll buy 4.
I'll buy 7.
Ooh.
I'm gonna write that book for you.
I really, 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 really want that book. Every member of the DC universe has to be
Well,
in
you do
there,
know
so
an
just
artist.
Middle fingers. Yeah, we got Travis. You can write it. I can photocopy it.
I'll be salesperson.
Yeah, you can sell it to me.
To you.
Anyways, okay. So they make that joke about Guy Gardner, who in himself is a joke. And when all of a sudden the spacecraft that they've shown up to explodes, and out comes a manhunter.
Not to be confused with the Martian Manhunter.
No, yes, not the Martian Manhunter. This is a Manhunter of the Green Lantern Corps. It's some sort of an android whose focus is on manhunting. So, anyways, they decided to take it on, all while arguing amongst themselves, telling each other to get out of each other's way. And the Manhunter ends up getting shut down. And you hear failure registered Lantern crews. Simulation ceased. When all out of nowhere you hear, we call that first swing a big miss. And it's Hal Jordan coming down from the
That's such a glorious shot.
Yes, it is such a great Green Lantern shot too. Especially some sort of Superman pose, lantern ring blazing, and just tons of green rays of light behind him. He's essentially Green Lantern
He's
Jesus.
an Emerald Jesus, yes.
Yeah, he's the Emerald Jesus. And he tells them that they were given the rings because they have the ability to overcome great fear, so they should start acting like it. After a bunch of advertisements we've seen in every single rebirth, he deactivates the Manhunter and explains that it was all a test to see where they were at with their abilities, and that they failed. When the two start bickering, he tells them to bring up their lanterns, their power batteries. He takes them and merges them together and says, now you're a team. You're going to have to work together. They want to know if he's going to end up helping them, when he says, well, there's something going on with Sinestro, and the bulk of the Corps is missing.
Isn't there always something going on with Sinestro?
So him and the remaining Lanterns need to go deal with that, which I guess is what's taking place in the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps book. But he says the Corps is all about collaboration. And when you're stationed on Earth, that goes beyond you two. And then you see a big shot of the Justice League on some sort of tower.
Why do we get an upskirt shot of Wonder Woman?
Right. I just want to know where the fuck this tower is. That's Watchtower?
It looks like it. They're in space.
Yeah. Are they all in space right now? Because they were just on the planet.
Well,
like, I think he's opening up like a window, like a.
Okay. Oh, and maybe that's what that whole Green Lantern symbol panel there is the window.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that. He's like, the Green Lanterns aren't around to help train you, so we've got the next best thing, referring to the Justice League. So he leaves.
Yeah, it was the Watchtower.
Yeah, he was. Did they? Yeah, and then he leaves them at the Watchtower. When did they get to the Watchtower?
No.
Did he stop in mid-sentence so that they could fly into space?
Just like, but where are we going? Shh. How? Where are we going? Shh. And then he just jumps right into.
Shut the fuck up.
And when you're stationed there, right.
He just stopped talking so they could go to space real quick. So he leaves them at the Watchtower, and we go back to monologuing from this Red Lantern. And he said, the prophecy said there would be a blackest night, then the brightest day, and now comes something else. And we see that it's Atrocitus who's been monologuing this entire time. Now, I don't know these two Red Lanterns.
Okay, I don't know what her name is, but she's like big,
second in command.
This cat, can I remember his name, but that is such a great story. Yeah, it's like a 2-page Jeff Johns story.
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
Where his owner was murdered.
Yeah.
And he was so angry, got the ring, and then he tracked them down and murdered them.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, it was great. But anyways, it turns out it was Atrocitus monologuing, and he says, soon it will be upon us, the Red Dawn. I am Atrocitus, keeper of the rage, father of the Red Lanterns. Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz are 2 lanterns of Earth now, but they won't be a problem. Our plan for Earth begins now. And then you go into Green Lantern #1. Odle? Which one? Which half were you guys taking?
I think it was just tag teaming.
Yeah,
just tag teaming.
We'll work with it.
All right, go for it.
So we start out Green Lanterns #1, lanterns.
I know. God damn it.
They're we got this nice outer space shot, and
is that how every book's gonna start?
I feel like
and I'm okay with that.
Guys, just all these so you didn't know, we're space cops.
Because it's very vibrant and.
But I think it's Hal Jordan monologuing right here.
No, I think that's
I think this entire one is Jessica Cruz and Simon.
Yeah,
yes. Simon's. Okay. I believe Simon's is the one more the black in the logo, and the one the lighter lime green is Jessica.
Yeah, so they're talking, and it's showing a Green Lantern fist with the ring on it, and the different color rings going through space, talking about the blackest night and all that. We see a nice shot of all of the different Green Lanterns
from different
in the
sectors,
core,
different
holding
species,
their fists up. Like that's such a good shot, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a pretty good page.
To the next page, it almost looks like they're back out in the desert where
they're actually in Arizona. Is it Pima or Pima County? No, it's Arizona. Deserts. It's hot.
Yeah. And they got another alert, code 312, unauthorized alien location Earth. So that's why they're out here in Arizona to this little old town. It almost looks like a garage house.
Yeah, it will.
With like a little storage building out back.
Not really sure what that is. It's just it's an odd house is really all it is. And Simon keeps saying that he can handle it. Jessica can go on. He's got it under control. He even says he knows what the code is. He was completely wrong. He thought it was a ring. But he also goes into talking about why he likes to keep a gun on his side, which is like he doesn't necessarily trust the ring, so he always makes sure he has backup. They went up touching down at this house. They did a scan, realized that that's where this this unauthorized alien is at, and they both kind of blow the door down with this big Green Lantern battering ram, and they go in like a couple of badasses, dude.
Which is the head of which is actually shaped like a ram.
Yes.
Yes. So they get in, and it's just this old rundown house. Looks like no one's there. They're like,
it's a crack house.
This is the Green Lantern Corps. Anyone inside, give yourself up. Is what Jessica says.
He's like, that actually sounded pretty decent. You've been practicing? Like.
And then we have this crazy looking guy with a shotgun saying, back the, which I'm just going to assume is fuck.
It's
back the fuck off. The blue woman owes me a ring.
And he has the Red Lantern logo like painted on his chest, and what I'm assuming is supposed to be blood.
Yeah.
And his eyes are glowing red. Like he's obviously full of that rage.
And so he shoots the shotgun, hits Jessica. Simon's like, he shot my teammate.
Jessica!
And he actually asks if she's okay, and she's coughing, getting up, and Simon's about to go apeshit on this guy, and he says, final warning, drop your weapon. And the guy in the back, he's just like, I want my ring. I was promised a ring. I want my ring.
And I love that Simon makes a car battery.
Yeah.
With his Green Lantern ring. Of all things, a car battery.
Is a fucking car battery.
It just knocks this fucker out. Conk. It's great.
Oh, that's really great.
I'm
excited to see what else he does.
She's like internally, she's like way over the top, and she tells him he's out. Good job.
Yeah, I like how they, to each other, they kind of compliment each other. They like, yeah, you're doing a good job. Seems like you're practicing. But internally, they're like, she's slowing me down. He's way over the top. Like they're still talking shit and not liking the fact that they have to be partnered up. Yeah. But they're trying, it seems.
Yeah.
And then Jessica actually notices something, tells him to look up, and they realize there's their unauthorized alien, and it almost kind of looks like a Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Type of, I'm not sure what kind of creature, but it's crucified up on the wall, and
with like red lantern,
the Red Lantern
pins shoved through it,
and the blood and stuff behind it. I believe that's the Red Lantern. It's kind of obstructed, but yeah. And then they get into alert, which is a code 603, unlawful execution detected.
And down here at the bottom we see bum, 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 like something's rumbling somewhere, and so Jessica is like having a hard time handling this, getting sick, and she turns around and there's a hole in the floor looking down to the basement, and it's just full of
Like
dead bodies of
they,
aliens, humans.
and they look like they've been like sucked dry almost. They look like
Yeah.
almost mangled or mutilated.
And so they're like, after they find the one alien, they're like, should we call the Corps? She turns around and sees that,
No,
and
she
they're
said,
like,
should we call the cops? That's what
Yeah.
she says.
oh, cops.
Yeah.
I thought it said Corps.
And after finding all the bodies, they're like, definitely call the cops. That's
Yeah.
why this next scene you have all like, you have
It's-
police, ambulance, everybody there.
Yeah. So now the cops are kind of laying into them, and they're just telling them
Pretty much-
they're trying to do their job.
Yeah, they're pretty much insinuating that they had real lanterns like Hal or John. This, I mean, it's probably better under control. They're just a couple of rookies, and like you said, like they're trying to tell them, like, dude, we're doing the best we can. We are real Green Lanterns. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that. And then while they're kind of arguing with this police officer, there's a woman from the crowd that's kind of breaks through the barricade and the cop that's kind of holding them back, and starts to freak out on Jessica and asking why this happened to her son. The cop said they can't talk about what happened, like she's freaking out. Then her eyes start glowing red and she gets pissed, and you hear that ba-boom, 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 ba-boom again. And
she tells him, promise me you'll make someone pay for doing
yes,
this.
and then the whole crowd starts getting filled with that rage as well, and their eyes are glowing red, and they're like, we want revenge. The ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom keeps going on in the background. And they're getting hit. The lantern's getting hit with this noise, that ba-boom, and it's apparently like really affecting them.
Yeah, and the ring says, warning, code red 12, rage level spiking. And they think it looks like a bomb, get back, and then this shed explodes, and up comes this giant red tower.
Which is the tower that the hate-filled guy that they had with the shotgun that I took out just earlier said that he's been watching it, he's been protecting it, he's been overseeing it. Now that's why he deserved his ring. And it kind of looks like this crazy, like, off-planet wasteland after that happened.
Yeah. So, they're talking like, this, Baz is like, this wasn't as simple as I thought. And they're like, this junkie couldn't have done this alone.
Pretty much, there's something bigger going on.
Yeah. And then from off panel, somebody else frees, and we see that it's
not Amanda. It's not Amanda
Is it
Waller.
not?
No, it's an art, because she mentioned something about like Amanda Waller says hello.
No. Isn't it?
No,
I don't know.
it just says this contamination scene is now in the jurisdiction of
Yeah,
Argus.
no. Yeah. She's
no.
not Amanda Waller.
No, but she is an Argus agent.
But
I'm not really sure who that is though.
this part is funny. Vinny probably likes this part. Baz says, "Excuse me, we were helping as deputized by the main Green Lantern of," and she cuts him off. Says, "Who? Guy Gardner? We don't need any more of him. No, thank you."
We really don't.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's kind of
like,
a subtle way
no,
of being
that's-
like, yeah, no, we're right.
That's
Like,
2 issues in a row they've shit on Guy Gardner. I really want to add this book to my pool.
and hopes that it does it every issue.
Every issue. If they keep that
like Guy
going,
Gardner is their frontier.
the one issue they don't, I drop the book.
And then the following issue is the death of Guy Gardner. You can't get a hold of a copy for like for less than $100.
You know what?
It wouldn't have been the first time that kind of thing have happened.
I have one issue from the 2nd volume of Justice League of America because it's an issue where Batman beats the shit out of Guy Gardner. So yeah, I
really
want that
don't
book.
like Guy Gardner. Do
I
you?
really don't.
Who's really a fan of Guy Gardner?
They're out there.
I know, but you don't see him that much.
And then when you find out who they are, you politely ask them to leave before shooting them in the back.
Yes.
So going on, this chick who's not Amanda Waller tells them that this is under the federal government now. They need to leave. And Simon's about to get all feisty and just like, no.
Yeah, Jessica's like, we're gonna piss off Hal. Like, let's just get out of here. There's nothing really we can do. And then we get atrocious. Thank you. Atrocious
monologuing.
Thank you. Saying the universe is madness.
This guy dude doing word things.
Yes.
And this is just a wicked scene
I love
right
it.
here.
We're back on what's that planet called, Vin? What's that?
What was that? Planet You smoke?
You smoke? I don't know. Sex
Sector
Small.
666.
God love Jeff
Sector
Johns.
666.
All hail
And
Jeff Johns.
so now we've got Atrocitus in this blue skin, spidery type bitch.
What
back-
is her name?
Is Jeff Johns
I
doing
think
that?
it says it
He
somewhere
did.
here in a second.
He did this one.
Um,
No,
but they're going back and forth. She hasn't done her job right. He's mad. Like, he's got her head in his hand, not just her neck, but her,
her whole head. Yes.
in his hand.
Her neck is in his thumb.
Yeah.
That's how huge this
Yeah.
guy is.
And he's saying the universe, this mad universe, would say, yes, there's been victims forgotten and crimes justified in intoleration. Shall sins go unpunished? And he respectfully disagrees that rage has its place. It brings balance to the world.
But he also mentions that rage is deteriorating, that it's dying. They're kind of dying out, and that they need this big event that we're building to bring that back. And the Hell Tower plays a big part in that. That's that big tower that came out, and they're talking about a seed as well, a rage seed. He needs to plant the rage seed in the Hell Tower out. It sounds awful sexual to me if you don't. Go and put on some Barry White and pour a little Cavassier and maybe make him a fish sandwich. But
So they're talking about how they're facing, the Red Lanterns are facing extinction, and if that happens, the universe will fall into chaos because rage is not there to keep the balance
yes,
of
it's
everything
part of the
else.
balance.
So that's why they need the rage seed to protect the Hell Tower. Red Dawn is coming. The Red Lanterns will never die.
And then we cut back to Jessica and her sister. They're back in Oregon, and they're shopping for the new apartment. She's buying her linens and such. And Jessica's internal monologue is talking about how much she still hates being in public. She hates being around people. Her anxiety levels are through the roof. Like, that is her fear, is other people, is being around them. And her ring sets
Social
off...
anxiety.
Yes, thank you. Her ring sets off another alert, another warning, saying that there's another code 12, rage levels are spiking. And it's triangulating to find the epicenter of the rage. What was it? Epicenter of the rage spike, and it finally locates it. And then it cuts over to Simon Cruz.
Simon Baz. He's having
They're going to get
dinner-
married. He's going to take her last name. It's going to be at the end of this arc. It's
Yeah.
spoilers. Sorry.
So he's sitting having dinner with his family, his sister, saying, the terrorism charges were dropped, and he's arguing those charges were false. And
But if he doesn't play ball, if he doesn't help them out with info on the Green Lantern ring, all those charges could resurface at any time. Pretty much he's still under their control.
yeah, so he's trying to tell the guy, because this is the same guy that was helping him clean off the garage in Lanterns Rebirth.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm not gonna let my family get hurt. I'll leave. I'll go high. I'll go into space. So
With all the rest of the Justice League who we can't find.
right. So next thing we know, Simon's eyes start glowing green, and we see a little bubble. Baz, this is Jessica, come in.
Dude, and
And
I love this page.
We have down here at the bottom, the ring speaks to Simon. It says, Lantern Simon Baz, you have the ability to experience Emerald Sight, which is a new lantern
I think it's a new ability.
And he sees all these flashes of things of himself laying bloodied on the ground.
What it looks like is that Emerald Sight, this is just what I gather from just this page, it shows him things that has happened in the past, things that are happening now, that are possible happenings of the future. And who is this dude here with the red lantern? Is that somebody we already know yet?
I don't think so, because at first I was thinking that was the crazy guy with the ring.
I think it's just an idea that civilians are not getting these rings.
Maybe.
Well, because I think that's the whole premise of the Red Dawn is that they're going to start giving out Red Lantern rings to people just to incite rage.
Yeah, because they did wind up mentioning, I can't remember if it was the beginning of this one or the Rebirth, that actually it was Rebirth, where Hal was saying that there's a reason why we're starting to get so many Green Lanterns on Earth. Maybe they're preparing for something that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads right into that, you know.
And then we go and we see Jessica, and she's in her Green Lantern uniform, screaming, "Baz, I'm in trouble. Simon, come in." And she's
But she has the whole mall, like, bombarding her. It's completely surrounded, dragging her down, just screaming rage, rage, rage. You hear the
Rage,
boom, 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 boom.
Jessica. Rage.
Oh, shit. And then cuts over to the last page. Last shot we get is
Atrocious.
the red lantern dude that looks really grimy. He says, when they come face to face with their own rage, one lantern will serve, the other will fall, and Earth will succumb to the power of the Red Dawn. And then you just see him like a hologram almost of Simon's head and Jessica's head
And the Earth behind
and the
it,
Earth
I think.
behind it, all red tone, and the ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum down the background. I love how the next issue is called Mall Cops,
Mall
spelled
Cop.
Maul.
Yeah.
It's
That's good.
I love
Now, obviously, I think it's obvious that Simon Baz is going to be the one who turns. I think he's going to give into the rage because
I
he's the
think
one who's
so.
got
to
the
me,
most going
to me,
on.
I hope so because Jessica's already been the bad guy as far as like in the Justice League.
Yeah, and
New
Jessica
52, like
could give into fear, like maybe Yellow
Yeah.
Lantern up, but I think like her big story arc will be her finally overcoming all of this stuff. The willpower will finally shine through to its fullest, and that's what she'll need to beat Simon, who gets the Red Lantern ring.
Good call.
Which is why I like outside of the Guy Gardner stuff, I don't really feel too pressed to get these books because I feel like
You
Green
already know
Lantern's
what's gonna
predictable at this point. I mean, yeah, we've got Emerald Sight. I didn't see a new power coming, but at the same time, it always seems like with every new event, they just make shit up on the spot, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, remember how we haven't flushed out of all the Green Lanterns? That was a part of the plan. Here's a
Yeah.
new power."
I don't know, I feel like if Red Dawn becomes a thing, even remotely close to how they did Blackest Night, Brightest Day, because this isn't just going to affect like a small population of the world. I feel like it's going to have a big effect worldwide.
Yeah.
Or well, universally.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't expect this to get even like close to half of
Yeah.
how big Blackest Night was.
Like, was there any big Green Lantern story arcs in New 52?
Wrath of the First Lantern, maybe. I mean, only because it kind of goes deeper into their background.
Yeah.
But now that New 52 is again acknowledged as not exactly the main continuity,
Yeah.
because Rebirth is
It kind of seems like Rebirth
bring it-
was, from what I assume, was they took some from New 52 and everything
Yeah,
prior. It's
Rebirth
like,
is
let's
merging
give you the best.
the best of everything.
Because there's
Which
still
is- I
some
love
a
it.
lot of New 52 stuff that like they talk about in
Oh yeah,
Batman
and we
stuff,
just
like-
started Rebirths, like this whole like
Mhm.
where this is going. So like there's so much more to get through, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to be so complex that like it's hard to say. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be one of those things that shows up on the cover of Batman Red Dawn.
Yeah, you mean like a cross series.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
like.
think it's gonna get that big,
Yeah.
but I see it at least maybe having one issue in each series of the main.
I think it's going to be.
I-
just
I think
Green Lantern
if
books.
anything, it might trickle across all the Green Lantern
Oh,
books.
Well, yeah, because there was something mentioned in.
Yeah, it's pretty much you can
The
pick up
Rebirth.
Hal's
Yeah.
story in Hal Jordan and the
I
Green
think
Lanterns coming out
best
July
case-
13th.
yeah. Best case scenario, it'll go through all the Green Lantern books at least. Worst case scenario, it's like a 4-issue arc that only happens in this book. Yeah. Because it's got a hell of a setup. Like, I'm
Yeah.
expecting something from it, you know?
Yeah.
It just fizzles out, and like
Yeah. But
Simon walks up, punches Atrocitus, and it's just over.
I'd be so pissed because
No,
Atrocitus is a bad.
Atrocitus pulls the mask off and it's Guy Gardner.
God damn it, Gardner! Hasn't he was a Red Lantern at one point. That
Yeah.
that stupid bitch.
What if he shows up as a big Red Lantern in this story? This will probably be your #1 book by that point. Like, oh, Guy
Like,
Gardner's actually in here.
you
He's
know
a bad
they
guy,
have shit-
and they're going to eventually going to have to kick his ass.
They shat
Yeah.
on him twice in 2 separate issues. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Like, he gets killed in this arc. I'd be cool with that. Obviously, they'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then they keep making fun of him after he's dead. What the fuck?
Yeah, still cracking jokes.
Like, yeah, you remember Guy Gardner?
I don't know. It's
What about
like
him?
it's like with most titles right now. It's you want to see where it's gonna go. You
Yeah.
really do. This is the only one so far that's been kind of predictable. I mean, outside of our whole Call and the Watchmen stuff, and it wasn't even really a prediction because I mean, you know, blood splattered, smiley face button, blue arm,
Blue
coming out.
arm.
It's the Watchmen. He talked. Well, no, I mean they're on Mars with a watch, and a blue text box is talking to Adrian.
The
Yeah,
very
it's
first
Watchmen.
the very first page of the DC Universe Rebirth was a watch.
Yeah,
And talking about a watch. Granted, it was
it was
Well,
a different
yeah.
one. It was Wally's watch.
come on.
Wally West watch.
Wally West.
What?
He fucked it up. All right. Moving on from that, pretty interesting story. Odle, you're going to take us out with Titans, which is supposed to be a pretty ingrained book with the whole what we were just talking about with Rebirth and what's going on with the 10 years that's missing and everything.
Well, yeah, because like right here on the main cover, it shows Wally West in his new suit that he got from the Speed Force in Flash Rebirth.
Question, real quick.
No, wasn't that Flash #1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Hmm.
Is this somehow take place after that? What's the Titans book that we were reading?
Titans Hunt.
Titans Hunt.
Yes,
Okay.
because at the very end of Titans Hunt,
I think
one
I
of
missed the
the-
last issue or the last two issues of that.
at the very end of issue 8, there's a big lightning crack that kind of like that's the return of Wally.
And then
The
essentially
two-
right after that is the whole DC universe.
yes.
The two
Monologues
lead-ins
of-
to this
gotcha.
are Rebirth, Flash, Rebirth, Titans Hunt, and then you get to this book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on.
So, like, I really enjoyed this book. One, I'm a big fan of Nightwing, and he's one of the main people. But it was a really heartfelt book.
Yeah.
Like, we start out, we see the old Teen Titans, and it's Wally talking through this whole thing. He says, once upon a time, we were the Teen Titans. And we see Dick Grayson as Robin, Kid Flash, Speedy with his trucker hat on,
Yeah. Donna Troy.
Yeah.
Or Wonder Girl.
Aqualad, and can't remember who that is.
Yeah, I can never remember her name.
But
The
she's
chick
still
in the
here.
green.
She's still in here,
Red-headed, green dress chick.
but I can't remember her name. And we see he's talking about how, you know, there were memories together. These guys were more than just friends. They were family. And they're sitting on a couch. Wally's about to take a picture of them, and he snaps the picture and then speeds over behind him, putting bunny ears up behind Speedy and the chick in green. We'll find her name out here in a minute. I
She
promise.
does get called out by name later.
So it's just this nice, casual, fun family photo.
I love the part where Robin's telling Donna to lay off because she's got her arm around his neck. Just a fun little headlock type thing. But she's super strong. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just telling, just smile.
Just smile. Bitch.
And so we go down, and after that, we see Wally holding that same picture, but he's not in it.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's not in the picture that he took where he should be. In it.
Marty McFly.
Yeah, and he's talking about then it became
Whoa,
a
Doc,
memory,
That's heavy.
and then even the memory faded. And like this is a really good shot of just Wally in his suit, still red hair flowing
I haven't seen his
and
new
all
suit
that.
yet.
Yeah, it's
Is it like red and silver?
yeah.
It's got kind of a
Him and
metallic
Flash
look
both
to it.
have new
Cool.
suits, and because in Flash #1, Flash had they were talking about suits. Well, I was like, I'll just get a new one from the Speed Force,
Mhm.
and Flash was like, oh yeah, I forgot
Oh,
we
wait.
could do that.
No, that was Flash Rebirth. I'm sorry. It was Flash Rebirth.
So, well, I gave him shit for still using the ring.
Yeah.
So, he's talking about how he's just a memory. You know, he used to be Kid Flash, but not anymore. All my friends have forgotten me. And then from off panel, we see someone say, "Who are you?" And it's Nightwing. And while he's talking,
Back in blue.
yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. So he's saying, "I've come back to repair the damage to make things right." And only Barry has remembered him so far. To everyone else, he's a stranger. And in this panel right here, Wally looks really weird. Like that, it's just
Like he's malnourished or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's strange artwork.
but we see Nightwing standing there
This is a
pointing
bad
at
angle.
him.
So.
Yeah, and Wally's like, "Dick," and Nightwing
What'd you
looks
call
at him.
me?
He's like, "How do you know that name?" And
No, I was just making an observation. You're a dick.
he's still monologuing, and so Nightwing like leaps over like half of the boxes and furniture in the place. He's like, "I don't know who you are. How did you get in here?" He's like, "Whoa, I'd forgotten how fast Nightwing was." And coming from a speedster, that's saying
Yeah,
something.
that's a compliment.
And
Unless it's a female speaker.
Nightwing goes to punch him and gets shocked, like gets the shit shocked out of him.
Yeah.
And he's
I'd also like to point out that the light that shocks all these people so far, Barry and Dick, is blue.
Yes.
So
And Wally's like, "What was that? I didn't mean to." And Nightwing, he looks at him, he's like, "Did you just tase me? What the hell, Wally? What was?" And then he pauses, and the next one he's like, "Wally?" And the internal
chills
monologue,
right now.
yeah,
Mhm.
the internal monologue goes, "He knows me. He knows me." And so he's like, "I don't understand. I know your name, but I don't know how." And Wally's like, "I'll explain it." And he's like, "Where are the Titans?" And from off panel, we see someone say, "Right here." And Wally's like, "Hi guys." And it's all of them. It's Aqualad, Donna, Speedy with a backwards hat on now.
Ooh,
They're
so itchy.
weapons drawn and battle ready.
Yeah. So they're already like, he's an intruder in their home.
Yeah.
They don't know who he is. And he's like, or Speedy looking, he's like, "Did you pick the wrong apartment to bust into?"
Yeah.
And so they start firing at him, trying to hit him and all that. And of course, he's just zipping out of the way of
Yeah.
everything. He's too fast. He's like, "They come at me from all sides, and their attack, I see the very quality of the man and friends. Roy's determination, Donna's protective fury, Lilith. Lilith is her
okay,
name.
yeah.
I
She's
still like
in
Lady
Greed
Jane.
Shroud now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lilith exposing her vulnerable mind to find the truth, and Garth, the unwavering friend you're lucky to have." And Lilith is like, he's done something to Nightwing, his mental patterns have been altered, and that's when Aqualad goes out and he's like, "What'd you do?" And Wally's sitting there trying to think, like, how can I prove to them that I'm not their enemy? They need to remember. And Nightwing's trying to get him to stop. He's like, "You guys need to stop." Donna's like, "Who is he?" And Lilith's like, "It doesn't matter how fast you are, you can't outrun your own thoughts." And this whole time, like, he's speeding around, dodging every attack except for this mental attack. And he's like, "They need to remember me or else I had to come back for nothing." And Roy comes in and sucker punches him. And Roy gets shocked. And he sees a memory of Wally and Roy, where Wally's giving him crap for living in a downtrodden apartment alone. And he's like, "What would Green Arrow think?" Speedy's like, "He thinks I still live with my mom. He's not around much. I look after myself." And he's like, "Isn't it annoying having a flash breathing down your neck all the time?" And as he starts to say something about Barry, Speedy just cuts him off and offers him a beer. So it's a very simple, like, almost meaningless memory. But it's a memory that Speedy now has again of him and Wally. And that's when it dawns on him. He's like, okay, for once running's not the answer. So he lets Donna tackle him. And she gets shocked and finds a memory of the two of them setting up a prank to dump, looks like baby doll heads on someone when they open a door.
The water balloons.
Water balloons.
Baby doll heads.
Baby doll.
Well, they have,
It's
they have
super
faces
creepy.
on them.
Hilarious.
Baby doll heads filled with red jello? I don't know.
What?
The mind of Alpha Spectre, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
But he's telling Donnie, he's like, she's like, this is the kind of training we did on our planet, or, where I'm from, we focus on discipline. He's like,
Oh, just because it's all women has to be another planet, Odle?
well,
Sexist.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to get it straight.
Yeah.
So
As
you
long as
tell
we're
me,
on
he's
the same
like,
page.
this is a different kind of training. So now Wally just completely stops running and lets both Lilith and Aqualad tackle him. And
Let me guess. They all get memories too?
yeah, Lilith gets one of the romance between her and Wally. And
That'd be awkward. I'm like, wait a minute. You touched me where?
I used to.
I don't even know you, man.
it's like, wait, we kissed? We're both redheads? What? This seems slightly normal.
Everything is right.
And then the one of Aqualad is Aqualad having a conversation with him about, not knowing if he fits in on the surface world, thinking about going back. And Wally telling him is like, there's always going to be people who won't accept this, but you're no outsider. You have friends, great friends here. And so after all that, they all remember him. And Lilith's like, Wally. It's Wally. And Don's like, Wally? Wally? Aqualad's confused. And he's like, the Speed Force must have sparked something in each of you and shocked your memories back to life. And that's when Dick goes on to explain the first thing I remember wasn't a big thing. And it's a memory of Wally and Dick as Robin sneaking into the Batcave and taking the Batmobile out on a joyride. And it's so much fun. Because he's like, Wally's like, are you allowed to drive it? And Dick's like, yeah, if no one finds
I
out.
love this because the Batmobile is so universally cool in both universes,
Oh,
ours and
yeah.
theirs, that Wally's like, I never ride in cars, but I want to ride in this car.
Yeah, it's so good. And so he's like, and at long last, I'm finally home. And this panel right here, it's just of all of the Titans surrounding Wally, hugging him because they remember him and he's back.
Oh.
And this was probably the most heartwarming panel in this whole book. It gets an entire page to itself. He's like, there's a lot to tell you, but I don't know where to start, so I'll tell him to start at the beginning. And he goes on to tell him that he's been away outside of time, and it's not really a trip he'd like to repeat. And he was looking at the whole universe. And now Roy's confused, telling him he doesn't make much sense. Donna looks at him, and he's like, we're still friends, because like, we used to be friends once upon a time. And he's like, but yeah, I haven't been around for years. And she feels really bad because she's like, this isn't right. How could I not have known you? And Dick's like, we all did. We couldn't give it a name, but we knew there was something missing, and it was you, Wally. Aqualad says Dick's right. They've all been back and forth since the Titans have gotten back together about how something just seems off. There's something missing. Something just doesn't feel right. And so now they're talking. They're thinking that Mr. Twister has done something and altered their memories. And that it was Mr. Twister who removed Wally from time, and trying to figure out why he would have done it. And Wally says, that's why I came back, to find out, to warn you guys. And he's like, I had to. I lost so much, but you don't know. And then he whispers Linda, which was the first person that he tried to reach, his girlfriend or fiance.
Yeah. I believe it was his fiance.
I think so.
Yeah. And he's like, whoever it was tried to keep us apart. And so they're going back and forth. We found each other. Whoever did this probably already knows I'm here. We need to be ready. And Roy's like, what are you saying? Lilith saying, he's saying it's going to happen again, aren't you, Wally? He says, I think it is. But no matter what they do, they can't keep us apart. The Titans are going to figure this out together. as Wally points to the picture that he was holding that he was removed from, that he is now once again a part of. So that
Just
ends,
like Back to the Future.
yeah, he fixed it. So like this is going to be a big part of what's going to be going on, because obviously Wally is the epicenter of the rebirth.
Yeah.
So, and not only the fact that this has some of my favorite characters in it, Nightwing. I've always really liked Kid Flash, but like there's going to be a lot of fun in this book, I think, as well as a lot of really good action and really good story coming along.
I've got too many books in my pocket. Like, I just recently retooled everything, redid my budget and all that. But out of all the impulse ads that I've put on there, I'm super glad I'm going to be reading Titans, because it just seems like it's going to be fun, well written. They obviously know how to handle the emotion, the gravity of the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
Which is so weird, when you
And
talk about
they make
writers,
you care about characters that you don't really know about, or a lot of people don't really know about. I mean, granted, everybody knows about Robin. By now, people with like Young Justice stuff, they know about Kid Flash.
A variety of these characters. But yeah, and it's so weird when you're talking about these writers, and you're like, they know how to handle this situation, like they came out of the Speed Force.
Yeah.
Like, you imagine that happening, and they're like, it's okay, guys, I'm gonna write Titans. One time I came out of the Speed Force, and
Like,
all my friends remember me. It was pretty weird.
I'll just write my own personal encounters and experiences, and we'll just throw some art on it.
Put myself in the book. But yeah,
I am Wally.
I'm glad I'm gonna be reading that.
Yeah.
If you want to borrow, are you reading it?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'll be picking it up because I have way too much stuff in my pool. Stuff that I should probably drop just because I'm not able to read nearly as much as I was able to. Guess I'll jump into my book. Me being the Batman fan that I am, I'm going to go ahead and cover Batman issue 1. I'm not going to deal with the Rebirth because it was all right. But it was nothing too exciting for me.
Calendar Man stuff.
Yes, it was. I like that they didn't go right away with a bigger villain. They were like, we'll throw a little Calendar Man in there. You remember him, right?
Yeah.
You guys remember him, right? Right?
I think that was probably wish fulfillment for Snyder. He was like, no, who I didn't get to? Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Because that was his last.
And he always wanted to do Two-Face, but he's doing Two-Face in All-Star, so.
Yeah.
Or at least the first arc.
God damn it, I forgot about All-Star.
Yeah, you're going to need to pick it up, man.
I'm probably going
You like
to.
JR. Apparently his work in this is probably the best he's done for a while.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing is that after seeing what
I'm
he's
so happy to hear that because
maybe it's his
I may have mentioned it on an episode prior. I just don't really like.
Maybe it's Snyder who brings out the best in people.
I love Snyder.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, I liked this issue. It's not Snyder, even though he did help with the Rebirth issue 1. This is actually Tom King as the writer, David Finch on pencils, Matt Banning on inks, Jordi Belair on colors, and then even though you only do letters, Mr. John Workman, I'm gonna throw you out there too. But we start out. First page is the innards of a passenger plane, and you see a kid, young teens, just staring out the window over Gotham, and you hear the announcements over the intercom telling them to buckle up, we're about to land, la-di-da. And next shot is outside of the plane, down on the roof of GCPD, next to the bat signal. We have Mr. James Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, talking to Batman here, talking about a raid that's going on Fort Marshall that they can't get really any info on, but they do wind up having he does have a lead on some what were they? Land-to-air missiles, surface-to-air missiles. 3 surface-to-air missiles came up missing. They got a lead on it, then it wound up going cold. While he's talking about all this, we see a missile just shoot up through the air and hit that passenger plane that we just witnessed. So Gordon starts freaking out. Holy shit, we need to get and looks around. Right. Right. He did the Batman thing. He disappeared. Next shot is a pretty awesome shot of Batman upside down, dropping through the buildings. I still love this new costume.
Yeah,
I think it's the
and that's
purple
a
on the
great
inside.
shot
It
for
is.
too.
And it's Batman. He's talking to Alfred over the intercom. And let me jump into my notes real quick because I chopped them down a little better in this. Alfred informs Bruce over his comm link that the plane is expected to come down somewhere in Gotham Square in approximately 6 minutes. So Bruce tells him to go ahead and contact Clark, which we all know is Superman, and Hal, Green Lantern, and he also needs. You can try to get their help, but he also needs to get Duke on the line. Duke is the new Robin that came from the 0 Year story.
Yeah,
came from the We Are Robin story.
Robin, what was it?
Robin War, yeah,
Yes.
We Are Robin.
He was
Robin
the
War.
leader of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Robins.
Well, there really was no leader, but he was the main character for the most part in that
And
storyline.
the thing to note about that is that in Batman Rebirth, that was one of the main focuses was him bringing.
Yes, so bringing him in to train as a Robin, and that's
no,
actually
not as a Robin. He says specifically, "I'm trying something new." He gives him some weird like motorcycle type.
I can't remember what
outfit.
I don't know if he gave it a name yet or not,
and it's
but
got
it was,
a bat symbol on it.
Yeah, but he was
It has no
essentially
name yet.
he was playing the Robin part, as in like
Yeah.
I'm going to train you to be a new guy, not necessarily Robin. Because
Sidekick.
So where's Damien?
honestly, Damien, I know Damien's going to be in the Super Son story, but I'm not sure where he's at in all this right now.
Huh.
They haven't really touched into it. But yeah, he tells him to contact Duke, and once Duke's on the line, he has him pull up info on both the plane and his Batmobile, and he tells him that he needs an angle. Pretty much what we figure out pretty quickly is that he's going to fucking jump the Batmobile and get on this goddamn plane. Duke tells him like a couple different roads he needs to take, how fast he needs to go, what angle he needs to take, and then Alfred starts informing him that he can't get a hold of the League. He can't get a hold of Clark, can't get a hold of Hal. So Batman winds up telling him, you know what, just send him a reply and let him know we're fine. This is my city, and I'll save it. And when he says that, he hits an ejector button and just flies out of the Batmobile on this jet fueled fucking ejector seats. And I love his harness.
Yeah, it's a
seat
bat
belt. It's a big
buckle.
bat buckle in there. Because why not? He spent an extra $4,000 on that buckle because somebody might see it when he's ejecting out of the fucking Batmobile.
Really, like these aesthetics, like they're just for you, Bruce.
They are. He's like, no one's gonna see this. I just like looking down and seeing the extra bat on my chest. So as he ejects out of the Batmobile, like a quote unquote bat out of hell, that's all me.
Nice.
Thank you. He contacts Gordon and tells him that he needs to get emergency crews down to the Gulf of Blackgate because he's going to ride this damn plane like a cowboy and try to push it into the water. Cut back to inside the plane. There's a man just wigging out, freaking out because the plane just got hit with a fucking missile, and he's screaming, it's Gotham. Gotham is the one that's killing us. Like, we're in the shithole of a city. Anywhere else we'd have a Superman, Green Lantern, or there's somebody that just fly in and fucking just save the day. Like, what do we get? We get Jokers, we get Riddlers, Penguins. It was like, in this city, you get the hero you deserve. And what do we deserve? And while he's going off, this kid who we saw in the very first panel, the very first page, is looking out the window, and Batman is just gripped onto the wing of the plane, just slowly climbing across, and he's like, oh, fuck yeah, there's a
I
Batman
feel
out there.
like he looks in at the kid. I just kind of feel like he waits at the kid.
No, I just think he just looks at him and just says nothing. He just keeps going, like,
No,
fuck you, kid.
He quickly crawls over and gives him a pair of binoculars.
He actually hands him a card that says, want to be a Robin? Call me. 1-800 Batman or something. So, where am I at on here? Oh, wait, I got a flip in my notes here. This can all be edited out. Thank you, Odle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Bruce starts climbing around the plane, starts putting these little, what looks like just little mini jets, like little thrusters, I guess. Starts sticking them all over the bottom of the plane. And
where was he keeping those?
They're collapsible out of the utility belt. I don't know. You asked too many questions.
Well, wait. Let's look at his ejector seat scene. Did he have them with him?
I don't know. They may have been on the ejector seat. He may have just took off the thrusters off the ejector. Don't ask the questions. He has them in a utility belt.
I'm just
I don't
saying,
care how small the utility belt is. He can keep these fucking
saying.
coffee can size.
Snyder wouldn't have let this happen.
No, Snyder would not have let that. He would have had a good reason and a good way.
There would have been at least 4 panels dedicated to that.
Yes. But, so Batman starts slapping these on here. Alfred's telling him how close he's getting to these buildings. What's the wing? And then he's asking what the wingspan of the building, and telling him like, "This is going to be close." Alfred's like, "Yes, sir, it is." And so he starts riding. After he has these thrusters going, he has his fucking bat cable wrapped around this plane, and he's literally riding it like a fucking wild stallion. And Alfred even makes the comment, it's like, what was once a commercial jetliner is now the new bat plane. And you see Batman riding this plane with the whole ass end on fire, coming right towards a couple skyscrapers, including Kane Plaza. Little call out to Bob Kane there. And he straight pulls I'm going to call it a Denzel in flight, and like flips this fucking airplane sideways so he can slide in between these two buildings. And all the while, there's this dark, mysterious character on a rooftop right next to a bazooka with a cobra on it, which earlier, when Gordon was talking to Bruce on the roof, he mentioned something about Cobra. I'm not sure if Cobra is a clan, like a gang, or if it's an organization. I'm not really sure.
I believe it's an anti-military organization.
Okay.
Isn't
Thank you.
that,
That's why
didn't
Dedicated to
they
world destruction.
make a variation of the Bane Venom?
Of the Venom.
I think
I
you
don't
were.
know.
Were you taking me seriously just now? Because I was talking about G.I. Joe.
Oh no, I just
No, because like taking this kind of from the Young Justice show, but there was the group Cobra.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
that
I'm not really sure.
modified the
But
Venom.
this mysterious character, all the while, like Alfred is actually over the comic, like letting him know, like with the acceleration, like how you're gonna hit this water, like it's gonna be impossible to survive.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, yeah, I know.
This is what point is that fucking Batman is steering an entire goddamn plane by hand.
No. He's using the thrusters. He's putting a certain amount on one and not enough, like that
Okay,
way
but
he's able
doesn't
to.
he have some sort of token?
Yeah, he's.
here that's,
Well,
oh, that's,
I think he's
that's
just
holding.
I just
him
think he's
on.
holding
That's right.
on. He's just riding
Okay.
like a mechanical bull.
For a minute there, I'm like, Batman's just.
This
dual
mysterious
winging
this mysterious figure on the rooftop that's sitting next to this dead Cobra agent, I'm assuming, and with their rocket launcher. Only thing he says is observe the clock, Batman.
Whatever that
No,
means.
whatever.
Yeah.
Clocks, Watchmen, I don't know. Could be nothing, could be something.
It could be 80.
It could be Rorschach. You know, he wasn't kind of a trench coat looking.
Yeah.
Nah, but he just doesn't have a hat. It wouldn't be him. So, going back to, guess what, Bruce? You're not going to survive this. He's like, yeah, I know that, and I've come prepared for that. Like, get into the safe. I've left messages for the boys. I love that he calls them the boys.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, also let Duke know if he wants to continue his training. Hit up.
Wait a minute, Batman.
What?
What about the Batgirls?
Yeah, well, they don't get shit. You know what?
They don't get shit.
They'll get like a gift card for TGI Fridays, like $10 for an appetizer or something. Like, wish I could be
A
there.
little bat gift card.
Yes, it'll be in the shape of a bat, or have the bat logo on it, like in
A
Batman and
bat
Robin.
gift card.
So he tells Alfred, he's like, and also as far as Mr. Thomas goes, Duke, he's like, if he wishes to continue his training and his education, see, Grayson is as good as a teacher as I ever was. And I love that he's just pretty much saying his goodbyes to Alfred. And there's a nice little callback to The Dark Knight Returns where he says to Alfred, "Is this a good death?"
Yeah.
And Alfred says, "Yes, Master Bruce. They would have been." Oh wait, no, I skipped one. No, I was right. He said it. No, yes, Master Bruce. They would have been proud as I am, sir, as proud as I've always been. Please, my boy, rest assured, it is certainly a good death. And I'm getting fucking chill bumps, dude. Just because we've seen it a million times.
Comics
But
are
it's
awesome.
Alfred and Bruce saying their goodbyes. It's essentially him saying goodbye to his other father and,
Yeah, we've
and
seen
Alfred's
it before,
son.
but it's not like in every day.
No, but like we've seen it a good enough times that it's like, oh, okay, he's gonna survive. This is a fucking Batman issue when he's not gonna die.
It's a goddamn issue. What?
So,
Nope,
just
he
as he
died.
says that, the nose of the plane is just starting to touch the water, and then it gets lifted up again. And I love the first thing Batman says is like, "Clark."
Clark?
Like,
Oh,
Jesus, Clark. And the very last page is a shot of first it's just the plane. It's laying in the water, Batman on top of it, and there's word bubbles coming from above him, like they're hovering. It says, "Batman, it is an honor and a pleasure. Please allow me to introduce myself." And then you see these two masked heroes, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They are the characters that are on the cover of the main cover. I actually have a variant here, so It's the ones with the G's on their chest, and everybody's been wondering who the hell they are since it was all announced. He says, I am Gotham, and she is Gotham Girl. This is our city, and we're here to save it.
Nice.
So now, Gotham actually has some super-powered heroes?
Yeah. They mentioned on the Inner Geeks podcast,
Mhm.
what the fuck was that?
I-
They mentioned on the Weekly Stack that there's a good possibility these characters could be Night Owl and Silk Spectre, and that maybe some of these new characters popping up are reimaginings. Because remember that dude in the green in I think it was Rebirth, called Mr. Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ozymandias.
Oz, yes.
Okay.
Shit, why didn't I
These
think of
could be reimaginings of Watchmen characters from Dr. Manhattan, or they could be in on the whole thing, and Dr. Manhattan has given them new powers, or
I don't know.
you never know. But yeah,
Or they could just be all new characters that have nothing to do with the Watchmen. And if that's the case, are these going to be legit heroes, or is it going to be like one of those, oh, they're heroes, but then you found out that actually there's an agenda,
Yeah.
or maybe they're heroes with good intentions, but bad ways of doing it, or vice versa. Like,
Well, because
we won't know till
He's-
next month, or in a week or two.
like
It's
2
still
weeks?
it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
well, because that guy, the guy Gotham, is a pretty.
Why is it a Gotham man or Gotham guy? Why is it Gotham and Gotham girl? Why couldn't she be Gotham
It
man?
is a weird, like, very uninspired names.
They were
Yeah.
very. Yeah, I don't know.
Now,
Where's
what were you
Uh,
like cringing about a
we-
moment ago?
Just their names.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just like,
Fair
I am Gotham. But then that kind of raises the whole anyone could be Gotham. Like the heart of Gotham relies in its
Gotham is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm just-
So are they be like Gotham and Gotham girl? Gotham needs you. Gotham.
Oh,
the
wait.
Gothic city
The-
of Gotham
the
needs you.
city
Gotham
of
and
Gotham needs
girl.
Gotham and Gotham Girl. Gotham.
All we know about them right now is that they have
They
apparently
fly.
super strength and they fly. But based on
And
that alone, they're kind of
shitty, uninspired
Superman
names.
and Supergirl. So who knows?
They need new
Whatever.
names.
Whatever. All right, guys. Let's derail this DC train.
Oh,
Because they've done 4 DC books. And let's get a little image in here. The book I'm going to be talking about this
Glorious,
this
glorious
time
book.
is Paper Girls number 6. Now, because the story in this is so, like, you have to be following from number 1, let me go ahead and give you a quick the quickest recap I can, because if I go into everything, we're going to be here all day. Basically, 4 girls start out one evening on a paper route.
It's like, was it Halloween or Halloween?
Yeah, it was Halloween
And
night.
it takes place in, is it outside Cleveland or outside Cincinnati? It's in Ohio.
It's Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes,
like
I
it's
knew
the
it's-
suburbs of
yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio.
I
And they
love.
take off on their paper route when all of a sudden all the power goes out in the town, and some crazy shit starts happening. Before you know it, they see these people who are speaking a language they can't understand trying to kill them. So they take shelter in a basement where they see some weird alien tech. Then that disappears. Then they meet up with these time traveler guys, and one of them gets shot.
Yeah, one of the girls gets shot,
Um,
and then
There's a lot going on. It sounds complicated and confusing, but luckily for you, Volume 1 just came out not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago.
yeah, because they give a couple weeks in between that, and then when they
Yeah.
come back for the new
So
story.
Volume 1 collecting issues 1 through 5 is out. Pick that up.
It is,
It doesn't matter what kind of comics you like, you're gonna like this one.
and especially if you're
pretty
somebody our age or even a little older, like
Yeah.
somebody who lived through the '80s,
Yeah.
or at least some of the better parts of the '80s,
big.
would love this because
Yeah.
there's a lot of nostalgia factor there, and it's just
Oh.
a very well written book.
And because of that factor right there, that's why you're gonna love issue 6.
And
Because
it's Brian K. Vaughan, dude. Like Saga, come on.
Because we start out on a suburban street following a Prius, which is listening to Coast AM radio
I think it's a
on the
smart
date of June 2016. Is it not a
car.
Prius?
It's a smart car. No, they actually make mention of it later on her smart car.
Oh, it looks
I'm
like
sorry.
a Prius.
I'm nitpicking. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That is nitpicking.
Totally smart car.
I think it looks like a Prius too.
It's a smart
It's a
Prius car.
Okay. Anyways, fuck you guys. I was doing good, and then
Fuck your shit.
Then
Oh,
we derailed your derailing.
so this is taking place in present day, like literally because this book came out in June. And she's listening to talk radio where it's just talking about a best-selling author and blah, 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 blah. When she gets a phone call, she pulls out her headphones, plugs them in, and it's her sister complaining about their mother. They're going back and forth about it, and it turns out the lady driving the smart car is having trouble with the fact that she's 40 and that she's still waking up at this hour, which is 4 a.m., which we see from her car radio.
it's actually 4:40.
4:40. What the fuck?
I mean,
Evan?
if I'm going to be continuing nitpicking
God
your
damn
shit,
it, guys!
I would
You know
mention
how long? You know how detailed this book is?
Oh, wait. Just wait.
Yeah. So stop. God damn it. And they're arguing about their jobs back and forth when she cuts off and says, what the heck? And it turns out there are 3 girls standing in the road. Now, those of you who have read from issue 1 and 5, you'll know that this is our main characters, Erin, Mackenzie, and Tiffany. There's a 4th main character, KJ, but she was taken off by the time travelers at some point to heal from something. I can't exactly remember.
Was she the one that got shot?
No, I don't think so. Was she?
No, Erin was the one who got shot. And the time travelers saved her. Somehow. I don't know. But she gets out of her car, and the girls say, "Excuse me." And it's Erin speaking. She says, "My name is Erin Tang. I deliver newspapers, and my friends and I need help." The lady walks closer to them and asks them if it's a joke because her name is Erin Tang. So
And she delivers papers.
she delivers papers. No, but so it turns out that they've come to the year 2016, and the first person they've met is Erin herself. From this time.
And this
period.
is actually where issue 5, where the last story arc ended. It was right as they meet and they realize it's the same person from a different time.
So they realize that they've been transported to the future, and they're asking what year it is. So she tells them 2016. Tiffany, no, not Tiffany, but Mackenzie says, "What is that, military time? What year did we come to?" And they're like, "I think we're in the year 2016. The 21st century." At this point, older Erin needs confirmation, so she starts questioning younger Erin about certain things that they would only know when she eventually, in tears, asks her to lift up her shirt.
Well, Chris Hansen's going to come up and make her sit on a stool. Ask what she's doing there with that wine cooler and that Yo Gabba Gabba DVD.
Why don't you grab a glass of tea? Come over here to the not Prius. Let's have a little conversation. Anyways, so they lift up their shirts and they both got the same scar. Older Erin's been wondering where it came from, so they try to remind her of
her getting
shot, but they move on from it because Mackenzie says that it doesn't matter right now. They've got to find KJ. And she gets angry and decides that she's going to walk off. She's going to find KJ because she's the hothead of the group. And older Erin says, "Look, I don't understand what's happening here, but we'll figure it out. Until then, you'll be safe at my place." So we cut to this open, sprawling forest and some sort of construction site. Now, this part is going to be difficult because the thing with these characters that we're seeing here is that they're talking about some sort of grander plan, some sort of like over our heads type stuff that has not completely been explained yet. That's the thing about this book, is that it's constantly evolving and growing, and you get things filled in from like issue 2 later in issue 5, and that's why you have to read from number 1.
And then not only that, but it's also hard because even though you can understand what they're saying, it's letters are slightly off, so that way it's a different language.
They're
but it's
speaking in like
almost a gibberish or almost like a
Almost
pig Latin
internet
I don't know.
slang.
Kind of,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I don't know
Slanganese
what it is.
what I've been calling it. They're speaking in Slanganese because it's
Slanganese.
like the first word said by this night chick here is defug, DEFUG. So this night chick in her Slanganese is talking to this older man in sweats and a band T-shirt. It's kind of like a skinny Santa Claus.
He has like a symbol painted or tattooed on his forehead, and he looks like he has like a Game Boy with a Game Boy camera.
Some sort of scanner type thing.
I'm pretty sure it's a Game Boy camera.
They're talking about the girls and fear for how they're all embroiled in this. And they're talking about the timeline. Have they been timelined? Like I said, it's very confusing because everything they're saying here, I don't even know what they're talking about.
No.
Yeah, it's all stuff that's going to get filled in later. But essentially, they're talking about where the girls went. So we cut back to the girls in the 21st century, and they're on their way to older Aaron's house, who's trying to make sense of all of this. Talking about how she's thinking about calling Neil deGrasse Tyson, the NSA maybe, but they'll just send soldiers after her when the girls start arguing because the future car, as they call it, is about the size of a Hot Wheel and they can't get comfortable.
Someone's elbows in their boob.
Yeah. So older Aaron yells at the three girls and then says, sorry, this is just a lot to process, and they make it to her home. When they come inside, she tells them that that she has to call work because of all this. And younger Erin asks if she still works at the paper. Luckily, older Erin confirms that she's not delivering anymore, but that her job doesn't pay much better. And then she starts freaking out again because she doesn't know what she's supposed to say. She doesn't know what she can say to them. She doesn't know if it's going to fuck up her life, like if she messes up the timeline. When off panel we hear Tiffany say Mrs. Tang, and then it shows a panel of her in front of the television that says, is this giant rectangle a television? Mackenzie runs in and says, no way, check out how skinny it is. Aaron says, but it says Sony right at the bottom. They pick up the remote, and Aaron's like, how do we ever afford this? Do we win the lottery? They look at the remote.
Did you just notice what's on there?
They look at the remote and says, look how many buttons future remotes have. When the TV comes on, and it's 4 turtles. And
just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
That's from the new movie.
Oh yeah,
it's the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
The hell is that already on TV?
Because they're in present day.
Yeah.
They're in legitly almost.
They're in
present
2016, June 2016.
Yeah, but that just came out in June 2016. How could she be watching it on TV?
No, it's the trailer.
Trailer.
Because they say that in the trailer.
That's right. I forgot about that trailer.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid Alpha Spectre.
We cut to another panel where it's all 3 of the girls' faces, and they are mesmerized. Sparkles around their eyes, and they're entranced.
It's like 3D, but without the glasses.
Yeah. Tiffany asks, how is this real? And then Mackenzie asks, wait, is this movie for grown-ups? Then the news comes up with a breaking report about some events that happened earlier in that morning, a large lightning crack and a flash in the sky. They remember this from their morning back in 1986.
80.
Was it 86?
I want to say 87 or 88.
86 or 88.
Yeah, back in one of those 3 years.
It was the later part of 88.
And they say, this happened just before the dinosaurs showed up. They ask her, older Erin, if they can be taken downtown. And she says, I'm not taking a bunch of children to look for some time tunnel that a fucking T-Rex might come at it. They ask her to stop swearing so much. And that's what I'm saying. You can't get into all the dialogue because it's all great. And there's just so much. But they say, this might be a way to find KJ. We cut to outside of some sort of scientific research center.
I'm assuming that or it could just be like a really cool house.
Yeah.
like some
It's
millionaires,
got a
like
lot
crazy.
of windows.
It's got a lot of windows.
Very
It's all
stylish.
abstract.
It
Yeah.
makes me think of something Baxter Stockman
It's Zoidberg.
would be. It's not Zoidberg.
You
Wait a
might
minute.
know.
It is a man in a rain slicker is walking out. Nobody in particular, just someone from this facility. And notices a red-suited, lobster-like looking suited person rolling up a parachute. He calls it out and says, "Hey, what in the world are you?" When whoever this is puts up their hands in kind of like a diamond shape and then spreads the dude into two pieces.
It's like almost like it almost pulls like
It warps and rips
Yeah.
at him, and he just explodes into gore.
It's just I like how his two pieces are just smoking on the ground.
Yeah.
Like
The being starts taking off its helmet, speaking the weird language that some of the zealots from the previous issues had been speaking.
It almost looks like some sort of like Oriental mixed with maybe
digital
like,
Mandarin or
maybe
something?
like some Indian dots and feathers.
Asgardian Mandarin.
Asgardian Mandarin.
There you go.
Whoever this is takes off their helmet, and it's Aaron Tang.
Yeah. Still speaking the language.
Still speaking the language. Again, something we have no explanation for yet.
No.
We'll find out about this eventually.
So there's like 3 Aarons in this issue.
Yeah, there are 3 Aarons in this issue
Keep
so
up.
far. So eventually, older Aaron decides to give them a ride, and the lights go out. They start telling her that the power went out in Stony Stream just before everything happened. During Hell Morning, I believe is what they call it.
I think they did, yeah.
Before Hell Morning. And older Aaron pulls out her phone to check if she still has a signal. They realize that this phone has a symbol on the back of it that is the same as a square device that they found in a previous issue. This symbol just so happens to be the Apple logo, by the way. And they pull it out and hand it to her to see if she can figure out what it is. As soon as she touches it, she says that she hears a voice that says, "Your user ID has been recognized. Do you want to connect to this device?" Mackenzie asks, "Do you?" And in the last page, she says, "Fuck yeah. To be continued."
One thing I love about Paper Girls is at the end of every issue, they have
American.
they have like letters
delivery
to the newspaper, and they're.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't able to read. I'm never able to read all of them every issue.
Yeah.
But just if you have the time, take the time to read them because they put in so much thought.
Yeah, we're
into
not talking
these.
about letters that people write to the publisher.
No,
of this book.
no.
We're talking about fictional characters they made up
in the 80s, sending.
writing into this fictional newspaper they've created. It's so great. This book is so ingrained. It's like, well, the only way to put it is that you have to start from number 1.
Yeah.
Like, there's no jumping in point because there's so much going on here. Almost every issue, you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, if you happen to just try to jump in at the beginning of this story arc with this issue, you will be completely lost.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, you did just give a little bit of a rundown, so like if somebody was to try to follow along from there on out, like
you really don't want, and the rundown I gave
was very
so
very
little of what happens.
And kind of what he was mentioning with all the word panels, with all the little background things, there's so much, whether it's visual things or like
So
little
many
call outs,
back and
little
forth.
nostalgia factors everywhere that it's definitely worth taking the time and reading. And
Like,
honestly,
I was
from
reading
issue
through
one, I love this book from the very first issue.
I mean,
It's just so well written. You care for these characters, like you've been in some of these situations, like just the
and it flows so smoothly with the dialogue. Like
and you honestly believe that these are teenage girls in that time
from
period.
the 80s.
Yes.
Like there's a part here where she comes in when they're coming into her home and she offers them waters, and she uses the word waters plural, and they ask, "There's more than one kind of water now." There's tons of that just in this book alone. So if we can suggest, honestly, I think we can suggest any independent comic right now.
Mine is definitely Paper
Paper
Girls.
Girls is my top.
You
might be.
I mean, there's so many.
You
There's
might
so many
be on the
good.
side of I hate Fairyland, but
It's that's fun in a completely different way,
Yeah.
in a completely different manner.
this is
Honestly,
intelligent
even though
fun.
for the most part on a lot of our podcasts, I've been reviewing something from DC. I've been enjoying, I should say, a lot more Image and Dark Horse and Boom and all these smaller independent. I still don't like calling them independent titles because Image is just as big as any of the big two.
yeah,
in my
Image is
opinion.
now like.
I mean, hell,
definitely number
Walking
3
Dead is a
on that.
global phenomenon. Like, I think we can say that Image isn't an independent.
And Paper Girls took off so well. It was so well
Oh
received.
yeah,
It was one of the few outside of The Walking Dead. It was one of the few Image books that just showed up in my feed regularly without before I liked their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Like I was seeing that pop up. People went right for it.
I think I first heard about it. It wasn't on Inner Geeks. It wasn't on the Weekly Stack. It was on a different comic podcast I listened to months back. I don't even remember which one it was now. I think it was maybe Best Damn Nerd Show or something. But they gave such a raving review over issue 1, and then I listened to, for the first time, it was the Weekly Stack. They're only a couple episodes in. They gave such a raving review. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I've got to buy this. And I was not let down.
You forced this one on
Yes,
me. Actually,
and aren't you glad I did?
Like he kept mentioning it, and I was like, "Yeah, I could probably check that out." And then I was over at his house, and we were having a few drinks, and he was like, "Oh," and then he just hands it. He's like, "You're gonna take that home."
And aren't you glad you did?
So glad I did. Yeah,
Yes.
and I tracked down a copy of number 1, which was hard to do.
Yeah.
I tracked down a copy of number 1, and I've been hooked ever since. It's one of my favorite books.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Moving on from the awesome books that we did this time. I mean, like all around, they were just all great books.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
And there were so many that we could have chose to review today.
Yeah,
Because it's been such a good month
Superman
or two.
Rebirth
And not
was
even
so
and not even
good.
counting just the Rebirth titles. There's a lot like
Yeah.
I Hate Fairyland came back, like this Paper Girls just came back.
I
think
almost
Klaus
talked
is
about
wrapping up.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Some
almost
good
talked
stuff.
about Spider-Man 2099.
yeah.
Yeah, some good stuff's happening in Marvel. I'm loving Amazing Spider-Man. This whole Regent thing that's going on.
Civil War 2 number 2 was
yeah,
pretty good.
it was okay. It wasn't number
It
1
wasn't.
good.
Yeah, it wasn't as
Yeah.
big as. But the number 2.
But
and
this
these
one
events
sets
are-
us up to some
Oh my
horror
god.
stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be good. But we're moving on from that, and we're gonna do. There was a lot of movie news. Like, what did you guys find out? What happened? Was there like a convention or something? I know with the Justice League
There were a
news,
couple of bigger cons.
the Justice League news came out of Warner Brothers DC let a bunch of media come down to the sets and to the studios and stuff, and
Well, yeah, because
look at all the things.
The video about the guy seeing the Flash clip and
Mhm.
talking about being on set and all that.
Yeah,
Like, it seems like there, if
It
it,
was
wasn't
a
at
press
con,
event.
Yeah, it was a press.
yeah, an event for the press only.
but outside of that, there's a ton. We're gonna do a quick rundown of some of this news. Some of it we're just gonna glance over. We might discuss some of it. But first off, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers got a new poster, which is kind of cool.
yeah,
Oh, and they
it's-
announced a new actor.
Yeah, and they announced that Bryan Cranston is going to be playing Zordon, which
see,
I mean, I love Bryan Cranston, but
See,
it's so
here's-
hard to
here's my
see him
thought.
as Zordon.
instead of being a blue tube and he's just kind of a gassy head, he's gonna be a blue crystal.
With
And
with sunglasses
I
on
get it.
and a hat.
By the way, okay, Zordon, we've only had one Zordon, and
Yeah.
he's always been Rangers. This is big, booming voice. I don't see
I
that from
can.
Bryan Cranston.
I
can.
see it.
I've seen little videos where people have taken clips from Power Rangers and clips from Breaking Bad. They did the "I'm the one who knocks."
Yeah. I actually didn't know that whether it was his first or one of his first, Bryan Cranston, one of his first acting gigs was a voice of one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Yes.
monsters.
Yeah, he was. So I mean, it kind of
Full circled.
full circles right there, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm not writing the movie off because of it. I'm just saying that
I'm
it
still-
might be distracting.
Well, I
I'm
think we're
still not sure about this movie. I definitely have a level of excitement because of what it is,
Yeah.
but at the same time, everything that I've been seeing,
everything that they've released and that I've seen so far hasn't really been very hasn't really reinforced that for me. Really, it's like I'm still gonna see it, but nothing's really like, oh fuck yes. Besides maybe the drag or the Zord. That was probably the coolest thing.
Yeah,
I think when we get our first trailer, that's going to be
will
the
definitely be
big
something,
key as to whether or not it's going to be good.
And that's usually the case with a movie like this.
I mean, rumors are rumors, but once you have that good, like, clips and everything.
But a couple more quick mentions here. Punisher is coming to Netflix on November 2017. Mm-hmm. So we finally got a release date for that.
I think that starts their phase 2 of TV shows.
I think so. And I actually heard rumors of Punisher might be affecting some things going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, I heard that
in
too.
one of the next seasons.
And there was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of image and the train.
I wasn't going to bring that because nobody knows.
Yeah.
Literally it wasn't news. It was just a van and people took pictures of it.
Like, no, it wasn't a van. It was a train. Like a subway train.
That wasn't a train.
No, it was a front and an end of a subway train on display. It was simply an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. advertisement in the middle of, I think,
I could have swore it was a fucking tour bus or something.
No, it was a train.
It wasn't really newsworthy to me because
I think it's more Crush or Creel than it is.
I mean, it was just an advertisement. Nobody knows anything about it. They didn't release anything.
I think they did it just to get people speculating.
That's why I didn't even post it to the Sort of My Comics page because I was like, this is fucking nothing.
It's all. I mean, granted, they need to get hype up.
Yeah.
Get hype up.
It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Suicide Squad finished their post-production. Cutting it pretty damn close to release date. Linda Carter was announced as the president of Supergirl. Yep. And as you guys discussed 2 podcasts ago, I finally got caught up on my shows and stuff. There might be a big old Flashpoint, which is the tagline for season 4 of Flash, or season 3. So we're hoping that Supergirl comes in.
To me, after thinking about that, it seems like, what else would they do? Like it seems like the perfect way to like not only
this could be their
end off season 2, to kind of do what he wanted to do at the end of season 1, but not only that, but also give an explanation to why Supergirl is there.
It could be their one misstep, though. This could be that first time that they kind of shit the bed and they just leave it as it is and they just keep everything on Flash. Flash eventually fixes it.
We mentioned off mic earlier, or you mentioned off mic earlier, that you'd love to see, even if it's just really small and subtle, that you'd love to see that affect Arrow in Legends and pretty much everything else in the Berlantiverse.
Can't.
Well, no. There is a way that it can. Season 3 could be totally Flashpoint. It can only happen. They do no crossovers really outside of maybe one, and they could say it happens after season 3 of Flash, and then they can say that at the end of season 3 of Flash, he fixes everything. Everything goes back to normal, and
Dr. Manhattan comes in.
And for Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, it's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, but with it is...
hell, they've already announced that there's going to be a 4-show crossover at some point this season.
So
it could be part of this.
It could be one or the other. They could just have it only be a Flash thing. It only affects the Flash TV show, and then everything gets set back to normal at the end. Or it could do, at least subtly, change those 2 shows. Like, all of a sudden now, Laurel Lance never died. Just little things like that.
Or we could, as long as we're wishing, it could also affect DCEU and tie in the shows.
I really wish.
I would love to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Maggie, whatever her name is, as Flashpoint, Batman, and Joker. Like, how awesome.
Killed for that.
God.
Killed for it. Another bit of information is Dread 2 is in development, confirmed by Carl Urban. Now, don't get too excited because in development could mean that they've got a timeline done, and that's about it. Nothing's been bought yet.
Things have been dropped. While they're still in development,
the Spawn reboot has been in development for a while.
But the thing with Dread is that as a movie, it's great. When it went into DVDs and Blu-ray sales, it did really well. But commercially, advertising for the movie, most people didn't even know it was out when it was out. By the time they found out, it was gone. So like 90% of these people ended up watching the movie via less than legal means,
or finding it in like a $5 bin.
Well, no, I mean before the DVD came out, and then boom, they rushed to go get that movie.
Once it came out on video.
So I mean, it was a commercial success on video, but in theaters, it just went right under everyone's radar. So that's why Carl Urban's been trying to get. Like really believing in this project because he loved doing the part and he knows it's a good franchise.
Well, it's a good character.
Yeah, and he did it right.
Yes,
he didn't Stallone it. But another bit of information we've got, and this I didn't know. I didn't know the cast was announced yet. But
to this,
yeah, I didn't know that the cast was previously announced before I read it in this article. But Skull Island, the new King Kong film, that stars Tom Hiddleston,
Loki.
Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, John Goodman, and John C. Reilly. Yeah,
I'm there just for John Goodman.
I love that.
So do I.
I love that whole cast so far. It's got me excited for the movie. Before I was like, okay, King Kong, I'll go see it. Now I'm like, wait a minute. Samuel L. Jackson.
So wait, we got
we have Thor,
Loki
and Fury, and
nobody else.
Sully the most.
Sully.
No, John C. Reilly was.
He was
in Guardians.
Yep, he was one of the part of Nova Corps.
But the article I found that out in says that this Kong is going to be the largest Kong yet, and the reason why
in size.
In size. And I think the reason why I think that's newsworthy is because. The plan is they've got the Godzilla film already out. They've got Skull Island happening.
And they're going to do a versus.
Then they're doing a Godzilla 2. Then they're doing a versus. And if you saw the new Godzilla film, the new American one,
I liked it.
It was really good. But one thing to note is that is the biggest Godzilla's ever been too. He's gigantic. I mean, topples some of the tallest towers. He's huge. So if you were to have a normal King Kong size fighting that Godzilla, it would be fucking over in a minute. So resizing him, smart move. So I liked that a lot. Some news came out about Indy. Not really anything specific, but they did an interview with not Tom Hiddleston. Who's the guy over it? Oh, I didn't write his name down. Anyways, the guy.
It was Tom Hiddleston.
The guy over at Disney, in charge of some of this stuff. He's there, but he said they don't really know what they're doing with Indy yet. There's the 5th film that's coming out, but they've only gotten as far as Harrison Ford agreed to be in it. That's what they've got.
We got Harrison Ford, guys.
But they want to reboot it without rebooting it. Yeah, they want to bring it to life, like Star Wars.
I was like, what it seems like that's exactly what I was going to say. It's kind of pull a Star Wars, where it's like they're not really rebooting it. They're bringing back. I mean, everything prior it still is there.
I would like to see Shia LaBeouf come back.
And I get to watch Crystal Skull. And
you've never seen Crystal Skull?
I haven't seen Crystal Skull because of everything I heard about it.
Don't do that. First of all,
that's not why. It's just I just never got the chance to.
I'm going to show you an Angry Video Game Nerd video called, I think it's like top 6 movie sequels that aren't as bad as everyone says. That one's in there, and he makes a ton of great points, way better than I could, but it's not a bad movie. The worst part is when the aliens are CG. That's it. That's the worst part.
There's aliens?
You didn't know that? How did you not hear that?
Oh, the only thing that I ever hear about this is how does he survive a nuclear blast in a fucking refrigerator?
Which, he
I was like, whatever, bro. I'm like, look at all the other Indian movies, man. He does all kinds of crazy shit.
A cliff in a fucking inflatable raft.
Thank you.
And everyone loves The Last Crusade.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Anyway, so that came out. So we might be seeing some young Indiana Jones movies coming out here soon.
Well, because they made the announcement that
they might bring Mutt back.
They can't have if Harrison Ford is not playing Indy, they're not doing any more Indies. So
Makes sense though.
But they can still do this, and Harrison Ford can still play Indy. That character is not getting replaced. They're just bringing in somebody new.
And he's been a teacher for such a long time. Like, what
he's
about these kids? Have any
he
of them gone
was
over
a college professor.
Yeah. Have any of them gone on to their own adventures? Like, I mean, there's a lot of places you can go with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the news that came out with that, is that they're looking into doing something closely related
But they just
to Star
still have yet
Wars.
to know what it is.
Yeah.
Besides, we have Harrison.
So they don't know what they're doing. They just know that they want to do it. Some Spider news came out. First, Sony intends to make not their own Spidey cinematic universe per se, because they intend to continue working with Marvel in the future. They've loved the hype from Civil War. They love all the attention that Homecoming's getting. So they're going to keep working with Marvel. So these movies are going to be a part of that universe. But they're going to make a Spider Family series of movies. So they're going to be branching out.
I kind of figured that's
other
what they were going to
Spider
do as well. Was like they're going to have almost their own
Yeah.
universe, but it's still going to be he's still going to be shared. It's still going to be maybe loosely connected to
So we
the Marvel
might see
universe.
a Spider-Verse event movie, like we talked about that one time.
Yeah.
We might
I've already
see-
heard rumors of Carnage in this
Now,
one.
those rumors were
Why?
because of
Yeah.
a tweet of that actor
But I don't think
being
that's
able
gonna
to
happen.
like bring the Carnage on the set of this show or something that
yeah.
he's on. And so some people have loosely tied that to,
Yeah,
he's
Yeah,
going to be
it's janky.
I just saw the
There were
title.
plans for a Venom movie, not just a movie, but a series. Before the deal with Marvel was made, and that's been scrapped. So, but yeah, they
Along
do
with,
intend to
what are
make
they doing,
a
like a
slew of
Sinister
Spider
Six?
Family movies. Sony also said in this article that they're retaining ultimate authority, like they can shut down whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
But they're really letting Marvel take the creative lead because, and I quote, they know what they're doing. So Sony is finally getting its shit.
It was announced whenever they first agreed to do the partnership that Sony. What it comes down to is Sony could be like, no, we don't want this, and that's final. Like Sony has final say.
And this was
because it's still
an interview with Sony Entertainment Chairman Tom Rothman. So you know it's the top guy going, guys, we fucked up.
All right, get this.
Let
Like
them
we
go.
know that like we had some good times, we had some bad times.
Now we just need Fox to do
now.
Oh God, Fox, please,
Like,
come on.
I saw something earlier that it was a rumors of Fox and Marvel talking about sharing rights. But I didn't even go into it because I'm like, that's a rumor post. I want something more definite.
At the
before I
same
get
time,
excited.
it's not like Fox has anything we're really clamoring for. It'd just be nice to close the gap.
I like X-Men.
Yeah.
I'd like to get
Okay, yeah, no, I mean getting the X-Men involved.
And I would like a Marvel controlled Fantastic
because there's
Four.
kind of a civil war going on with X-Men and the Inhumans. Like there's a whole racial thing going on there. So, yeah, you could. Marvel has the Inhumans, Fox has X-Men. You could do something there, and especially since has he said?
Brian Singer?
No, Wolverine.
Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Has Hugh Jackman said that he's done doing the Wolverine part completely, or is it just the movies?
As far as I remember, he's done with Wolverine movies. I
Okay.
don't think he's done with the role.
Well, never mind what I was going to
as
say
far-
about that.
I guess his solo movies.
Yeah, so
And
I
now,
think he's still going to be a
Speaking
part
of
the
which, have you guys
X-Men
seen
movies.
the set photo from Wolverine 3 that has been
I
showed?
generally don't look
No.
at set photos.
He has
unless it's
gray
really
hair.
important. Yeah, no, he's got a beard
Yeah,
and
gray.
slick back hair and is graying, just like in Death of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been saying, is that everyone's like, oh, they're doing Old Man Logan, and I'm thoroughly convinced these people have no idea what that story is.
Mhm.
They just want an old Wolverine, because those set photos clearly show that they're doing Death of Wolverine, which they can't do Old Man Logan with.
Well,
Yeah.
the
So-
other thing is, in Days of Future Past, the future Wolverine that gets sent back in time, like that one has the graying hair as
Yeah.
Oh
well.
yeah.
And another thing is that Fox would have to cross over with Marvel to do Old Man Logan
they
because
would, and they
of the
would.
Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk has to eat Wolverine. God damn it. I'm not going to buy an Old Man Logan movie and Wolverine doesn't get eaten by the Hulk. Okay?
Be like
and that's a
Colossus
pretty
or
gruesome
something.
shit. Yeah, they could not possibly get away with doing Old Man Logan and do it right. Their safer bet is doing Death Wolverine.
But it is Fox.
Oh my God! Does that mean that the next Wolverine movie would be all new Wolverine and it's X-23? All right. We don't have time for
No, it'd
this.
be Wolverines. And it'd have whoever was in
Dakins
Wolverines.
and this one and Deathstrike.
We're too far in for Dakin. Okay,
Yeah.
like you and me disagree on X-23 a little bit, but you cannot argue we're too far in for Dakin.
Oh yeah. Well, because Apocalypse takes place in what, the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
No, in the
80s.
80s.
I thought it took place in the 80s.
It takes place in the 80s, and like the current Wolverine movies are happening, as far as I can tell, in current time, ish.
Yeah, but I think one Wolverine movie is just too short of a time span to be like, oh, I'm a trained assassin with a lot of emotional problems, but now I'm a good guy. I don't buy it fitting into such a small.
I could see a Dark Wolverine show.
Now, if they want to give her own movie, or they do like a young X-Men movie, if they do something like that, because by the time she gets to X-Force, she needs to be not completely reformed, but mostly reformed.
I feel like.
I really hope they do.
Maybe
We're
we'll touch
getting
on it
we're getting way off topic here. Because the last piece of movie news, there was a few things that came out about Star Wars Rogue One that I really want to touch on. First of all, Forrest Whitaker's character, it got revealed that he is playing a veteran of the Clone Wars, and this character actually makes an appearance. Well, I shouldn't say an appearance. He's a part of the Clone Wars TV show, the animated show.
Oh, really?
Which means, and they already stated this once before, that the Clone Wars TV show is canon. But this is the first time one of those characters has come.
Yes, has come from
into
there
the
to
movies.
here.
Yeah, and not vice versa.
Yeah.
So this movie officially links the animated series, and I guess this character is also supposed to be a part of. I want to say Rogue One, or not? Yeah, obviously
He
Rogue
is.
One.
You're correct.
Rebels. He's supposed to be a part of Rebels too.
Well, yeah, because aren't all of these in between movies supposed to be connected somehow as well?
Kinda. Well, I mean, they're all connected to the overall grand scheme.
But like storyline wise.
Yeah. No. I mean, Han Solo. I think that movie's gonna be just standalone. That's Han
Adventures
Solo.
of Han Solo.
Yeah, it just takes place in between episodes 3 and 4. I don't really think it's gonna. I mean, it's before he's with the rebellion. It'll probably be a movie based on the run that got him in trouble with Jabba. That would be pretty cool.
Or maybe in this movie we're also going to see where he acquires the Millennium
Or he
Falcon.
acquires the Millennium Falcon from
Lando.
Lando. Yeah, that would be great.
I want that now.
God damn it!
Who would play young Lando?
Billy D.
Let's not do
Williams.
this. Let's not do this. But Billy D.
Billy D. Williams. I'll do it, guys.
That Michael
For
B.
Colt
Jordan.
45.
Also, it was announced that not only is Darth Vader going to be in the movie, which I think is cool, but if you've been reading the Star Wars comic books at all, and you've read the Vader down storyline, you know that no squadron can fucking stand up to Darth Vader. Not even several fucking squadrons, because when he lands on that planet, he is surrounded.
All I see is, I'm surrounded by dead men.
Yeah, all I'm surrounded by is dead men. And because they tell him they've got him surrounded, and I mean they fucking do. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of them, and there are ships off in the fucking sky and everything, and he kills it all. He kills all that. I'm pretty sure
And
that
I
if it were
wanna
a
see-
one-on-one on the battlefield fight, Darth Vader could probably have killed the entire rebellion by himself.
And I want to see that Darth Vader on film.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially with the prequels, it watered down for me like how sinister he was.
Yeah.
Granted, it explained a lot, explained why he got sinister. For the most part.
I mean, by Jedi,
especially in the
he's-
comics, these comics, he's more of a badass than what I've ever seen him in any of the movies.
By the time the Jedi rolls around. He's got the conflict inside of him. Empire, I feel he's pretty ruthless.
Yeah, he is pretty badass. Hell, he was torturing his daughter in New Hope, so never mind. Yeah.
I don't know. It's there, but he has been way more intense in this in the comic books. But yeah, so if our main characters come face to face with Vader, they're fucking dead. I'm sorry, they're not Han, Luke, and Leia. They're dead. So I won't really buy it if they get out of a situation with him. But it also got confirmed that James Earl Jones will be playing the voice. But duh. Yeah.
As long as he's still alive, he better
you
be.
You don't have Vader with that James
And if he's
Earl
not
Jones.
going to be, you know what? Just have him, just record him saying all kinds of different words, so many different phrases, and then just splice it in later. Yeah.
That's what we need to do with him, Morgan Freeman, Sean Connery.
We need to save these voices while we can, guys. We've got the technology. Pay them a lot. But yeah, pretty much I think if James Earl Jones dies, they should retire Vader. That's it. Yeah. We're done. We're good. Okay? And by then we'll have had plenty of Vader. So we're satisfied. Retire the character. Okay. Also, another character played by Ben Mendelsohn got announced, and it's actually a new rank in the Empire that they're introducing. Which is cool because, with the original trilogy, we don't get too much insight into the inner workings of the Empire and stuff, so it leaves a lot of room to invent new things. And his rank and character name are Director Krennic. Apparently, he is... the director title comes from the newer novels Tarkin and New Dawn. And it's a person who's in charge of the Imperial Security Bureau, the ISB, which is a secret police of the Empire. And they command the Death Troopers, which are like a special forces, like they're black ops.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they like a black ops type?
Yeah.
So they actually hit people? They actually hit their target.
They probably do much more. Much more than that. Sexy time.
Sexy time.
That's exciting.
But yeah, so that's that got me jazzed up right there. I'm like, ooh, fuck.
I mean, I've been pretty jazzed for this, but yeah.
Now I want a Rogue One video game. I want to be a Death Trooper. And the last bit is actually kind of a key pin in the movie. Apparently, Jane Enos, the main character, the chick.
Jin. Was it Jin?
Jin Enos, yes. That's right. It's Jyn.
Yeah, Jin.
Yeah. Jin Enos. Her father is apparently a scientist in this movie, and he's being sought after by both sides. So now we get a little bit of insight into what her whole situation is here. Because we said before in the podcast, she seems like she's a rebel of the rebellion.
Yeah.
She rebels against the rebellion. But she also rebels against the Empire. So
she rebels against everybody.
She's one rogue.
She's a rebel no
She is one rogue.
Yep. So yeah, she's now got this reason for jumping. This could give her a reason to jump sides to the Empire because at the end of the trailer, she's wearing Empire gear.
That is true.
Yeah, so who knows? There's so many different ways
she could jump to have to save her father or something,
And just with this news that came out alone, that it just gives so much meat to this.
Yeah.
To this story.
Because before it was just, oh my god, listen to that score, look at these visuals, AT-ATs,
and now,
which was enough, which is plenty for me to still be excited.
I want to say this. I want to start this little argument. It's AT-ATs because it's an acronym.
Yes, it's not AT-ATs.
Yeah, it's not AT-ATs.
I'll even let Imperial Walkers slide because
fine. Yeah,
but they're AT-ATs.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad we agree.
Yes. Someone brought that up to me earlier. They were like, "Ew, call it an AT-AT," and I was like, "Ew, go fuck yourself." No, I didn't say that to him.
You should have. Because you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
No.
Fuck them.
But yeah, so that was all the Star Wars news that came out. It got me really excited for the film. Absolutely. I'm already really excited for the film, and we get it this year.
I'm excited.
Okay, guys. All right, let's get into the one that has all the news sites buzzing Justice League. I mean, there's still stuff coming out. Today there were like 3 new articles. But
Yeah,
Justice League, tons of stuff came out for this. One of the first things, I've got a systematic amount of notes here. One of the things is that mother boxes are going to be a big part of this movie, which I think we could have guessed from BBS.
Yeah, especially, I mean, they're preparing for Darkseid.
Yeah, Cyborg.
The deleted scene.
Yeah, the
Steppenwolf.
communion.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
3.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to look into Steppenwolf.
But yeah, there was 3 mother boxes in that scene.
Yeah,
Steppenwolf
and those are
Darkseid's
gonna.
uncle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know who
Which
he
is
is, but I
weird.
wanted to see if there was anything
Like,
about
about
that.
That's weird to me though, because you don't think of like these extraterrestrial beings and like superpowered extraterrestrial beings
Being
having-
siblings and having sex
I actually
and-
do. Because I mean, especially in the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoons, all the times they deal with Apocalypse, they
Oh, yeah,
don't
they have the
shy
whole
away from
family.
Darkseid's family whatsoever.
Hmm.
And a big part of his thing is some of his children have been his right hand men.
Yeah.
He's sent them to Earth before, try and kill Superman. So this is usually what he's trying to do. But yeah, so no, I always feel comfortable with that anymore. I mean, if it were to happen in like Marvel, and someone would be like, "This is Galactus's half brother," I'd be like, "The fuck."
Now, if they introduce anyone as someone's half brother, there's something wrong there.
Like a
I mean,
stepbrother.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Galactus's mom, like, did she cheat on his dad, or what happened?
Another going back to the mother boxes, and we've already seen it in the little origin video in BVS, but
Yeah.
they are obviously going with more of Cyborg's New 52 origin,
Yes.
which is he acquired his technology from a mother box. It's
actually upgraded that
New
character
Genesis.
a great
Oh,
deal.
definitely.
Like, I mean, it
and
gave
that
him
and
a
that
reason.
actually that not only played a big part in the origin storyline, which is the volume 1 of New 52 Justice League, but it does as well like a big part in the Darkseid War, the last story arc of New 52.
Yeah, and it kind of because he got added to the Justice League sort of after this, and now he's become one of those like you almost can't do Justice League without him.
Oh, yeah.
Because
He's become a
these
staple.
new powers have made him so.
See, I've always been
important.
more of a Martian Manhunter fan over Cyborg in the
Yeah.
Justice League, but now, especially being a lot
It's
more New
definitely
52,
shifting.
it's yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention that, but apparently, one of the main points of one of the main stories in the film is that they're trying to get the 3 mother boxes that are on Earth. There's one in Atlantis, there's one in Themyscira, and there's the one that they've got with the cyborg stuff. So I feel like the mother boxes are also going to play a huge part in bringing the Justice
All
League
of those
together.
yes.
Yeah, especially getting them to Atlantis,
Yeah.
which was one of the like, well, how the fuck are they going to do that? And now this mother box gives them a reason.
Yeah.
Um,
Gives them a reason to even visit, because originally you'd be like, why would they?
yeah,
Yeah.
It was one of the more difficult parts to piece together about this film, but now they've got the reason. Mother boxes are a huge part of this film in more ways than just being a story piece. So
So it's kind of like what Marvel's doing with their Infinity Gems, ish.
oh yeah. Well,
I mean, let's
you don't
not
have one
sugarcoat it.
without the other. Honestly, like
Because-
they bounce off of each
Oh,
other
yeah, they
so
do.
much.
And I mean, why not do something that you know is like, okay, well, this could work, because not even just look at the example that Marvel has set, but like this opens up like just Apocalypse New Genesis
Well,
opens up
regardless,
so many options for like storylines and events.
regardless of and with the news that's come out about Justice League, I feel like a lot of this is Jeff Johns.
Yeah, well, he's now their.
I mean, hail Jeff Johns.
yeah, all
You
him.
know. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of this is coming out of him being a part of it. But at the same time, you know, I've been saying this since I heard about Batman vs. Superman, and that is DC Entertainment is playing oh shit catch up.
Yeah,
with
they really are.
Marvel. They're really wanting to be in Phase 3 already. And I feel it's a little rushed, especially since they decided that Justice League is not going to be a two-parter. They're rushing it so much they decided it's not going to be a two-parter.
It's going to be two separate.
Well, yeah, they're obviously
movies
going
from
to
what
have a
I've heard.
sequel later, but they
Kinda
wanted
like
this
what
first
Infinity War
one.
did.
Yeah, they want this first one. They wanted this first one to be two films because of all the stuff that was supposed to be going into it. And with everything that we still have to talk about, and I mean everything that we just did talk about, it sounds like too much for one film.
The only way
it
I
makes me
can
a little
see them
afraid.
doing that is if it's not all that's not in that one film. In the Wonder Woman film, maybe they might go into a little bit on how Themyscira got that mother box, and like maybe the Aquaman film will do the same. Like maybe it'll spread some of that out so that it's not so congested.
We do
in
know
the Justice League film.
we do know that those movies. Well, we don't necessarily know about Aquaman yet, but we do know Wonder Woman takes place prior to all of this, prior to BVS.
Actually, from what I've heard, it's supposed to jump from that time to present time.
Ew.
Yeah.
I kind of want just the old.
Kind of like a Captain America First Avenger
Yeah,
type
exactly.
deal. Stay in that period.
That'd be cool.
I'd prefer that, but yeah, they could do that with those other movies. Flash, I really don't know what they're going to intend on doing. But yeah, I feel like it would be much better if they had a two-parter for this one. Although they did say that this movie is supposed to. Obviously, we've got a villain in Steppenwolf, but this isn't really sounding like it's going to be the big epic. Like, there are going to be some cool parts. Obviously, the Justice League's going to get together. They're going to fight Steppenwolf. But they're
also going to put some things in place
Yeah.
for that.
This isn't our Dark Side movie.
No.
Yeah. So, they're still playing somewhat of the long game, but by cutting this from a two-parter, I feel like it is still them trying to play catch-up.
I feel like we're going to see this movie, we're going to like it, but we are going to feel that they cut corners.
Yeah.
They could have done more if they would have spread it into two movies, but I feel like there's going to be some things that we're going to feel cheated on.
Yeah.
Which is a definite high possibility considering their track record so far. But at the same time, we're also hearing rumors that like it feels like a completely different tone. Like hopefully they're starting to fucking listen. And
well, that's one of the things that
they're taking all that into account, and then like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't try to cram as much as we can in here. Like maybe this is what we want to do. If we're able to pull things in and like pretty it up a little bit, that's fine.
A lot of the interviews with Scott Snyder or Zack Snyder and
they need Scott on that.
yeah, they do. God, they need. Why have Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck not brought Scott Snyder in?
You know, Kevin Smith is one of the biggest fucking people to tell, like, you know, bring in the comic book writers into the movies.
God.
Yeah.
Super team writing for fucking Batman. You get Ben Affleck, Jeff Johns, Scott Snyder, and Kevin Smith all writing Batman.
God, that would be the best Batman movie ever.
That would be maybe the greatest superhero movie of all time.
Throw in Neil Adams for good measure.
Yep.
Right. For artistic advice and shit.
On the CG end, have him go in there and be like, maybe you should shade this way.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, you may have it in your notes, but since we're talking about Batman and this new Justice League, I don't know if you had a section that you were setting up for costumes.
For some reason, I do have a little note here about costumes.
I know that Batman's
I thought you were going to talk about Batman's gadgets, and I don't have notes for that for some reason.
Did you notice or did you hear that his suit isn't going to be so much gray
it's
anymore?
A blue
it's
tint.
A bluer tint.
Yeah, there's a blue tint there.
Honestly, I would prefer keep the gray, but all the black do blue.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they were meaning, but the picture I saw was like the suit is more blue.
Well,
than
there was another picture I
black.
saw of a different suit they're going to use for the movie as well. It's
the tactical suit. Yeah.
Which
originally of course that one should be all black.
Yeah, but it was one of the articles I was reading. Like a lot of people were speculating that was going to be the Nightwing suit.
Yeah.
And
if they announced Nightwing for this movie, I would be like, oh shit, because that would be too difficult. But no, and apparently this is what they're doing with all the costumes. The descriptions I heard of Aquaman's costumes, like bright gold with green highlights, kind of like algae stuff, and the scales are vibrant, and and
I
everything.
can dig that.
Wonder
Nice.
Woman's costume is a little brighter, just a little brighter, but it's the exact same costume from BBS because they want it to be like this is the costume she's used
She's
her
had.
entire time.
Now, when she joins Justice League, her costume
Yeah, it might
change.
change, but now she's she's rocking that.
I mean, there's already been an announcement of Flash in a
little
suit, so I
worried.
don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
you
the
know what I
148 janky piece
mean? With
thing.
pieces of, like, what is it, aircraft,
Yeah.
and
So that one will probably be less vibrant, but just more.
I wonder if he'll paint it red. I wonder if
Yeah.
he'll already have the color
I think that
scheme.
one will be more animated, and I don't necessarily mean CG. I mean just like
Good.
your eyes will
Yeah.
go to it and be like, "Ooh, what's going on with this thing?"
Yeah.
Cyborg is supposed to be all CG, which didn't work for Green Lantern. So tread carefully,
but
guys.
Spider-Man was all CG.
I was say they're
Not all CG.
yeah.
Well, okay, obviously
The
his fight
majority of
scenes, yeah.
Spider-Man
But-
was CG.
But we're talking Marvel DC here. Okay, we're talking apples and an
Potatoes.
orange that fell on the floor. Well,
We're talking about apples and cactus.
Yeah, apples and cactus here.
Apples and cucumbers.
That's great. No, I love that. Apples and cactus. Yeah, so you can't really compare. And he did do scenes in the actual suit. He has an actual
But
suit.
there were a lot of
See, no, I
scenes
could
with
see them-
CG.
Okay, for Cyborg, I can see them having to do mainly CG because
Yeah.
obviously.
Well,
Yeah.
look at Iron Man.
But why not? Why not?
They have moved completely CG with him at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
And it looks good.
Yeah, it does. But again,
But they got
this is
that's,
DC.
that's
Then-
Disney money
Then again,
though, behind all that.
then again, look at Green Lantern. God damn.
Look at Doomsday.
God damn it,
Yeah.
Doomsday. Anyways, the
Trolls
main
get
point
from the
here
dungeon.
is that the costumes are supposed to be brighter. And apparently the sets are a lot brighter too. They are trying to listen to the fans. And Zack Snyder in an interview claimed that was all a part of the plan. Superman was supposed to have more of an emotional tone. This BVS was supposed to have a darker tone, and then the Justice League was supposed to be more fun and animated. And yeah, bullshit.
I call bullshit on that. Mr.
He's so
Snyder.
full of shit.
That is, dude, you got told to listen to the fans or you'd get fired, and now you're trying to play it off like that's what you wanted. That's like, that's the only thing that could
Yeah,
have
that's
happened
exactly what it
because
sounds
they did not
Well-
deliver on this movie. They were expecting fucking Star Wars money,
They were, yeah.
and they got 900 million worldwide. Which I mean, it's still a movie that cost what, like 300 million? That's a good
No.
take.
Yes, but at
It
the
was-
same time, for
it was
a
6, wasn't it?
600?
picture that was estimated for a lot more, that they needed to
They-
make a lot more.
They anticipated over $1 billion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I
So
mean,
we're only
I can
100
nitpick
million
about that movie all I want, but all in all, by the end of the day, I enjoyed it. I liked
It was
It
it was
was
a
fun.
successful
Yeah.
film. They didn't they're not closing down any studios.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't a Green Lantern flop.
It didn't kill the franchise like Green Lantern.
It's crazy to think that
They
they just wanted to
immediately
start a
hit
franchise
the
with
fucking
Green
break.
Lantern.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, at the time, I think they thought they were going to bring Chris Nolan's Batman over in. They already had plans for Man of Steel. So, yeah. Anyways, they are starting to listen to the fans, and
I'm excited to see how bright and cheerful the Flash
Well,
is gonna make everything.
and they were talking about that clip where Bruce Wayne meets the Flash, and
Yeah.
the first thing that gets said is a joke from the Flash.
yeah.
So that makes me feel good. There was a clip that they got shown about everyone on a roof. The Justice League on a rooftop
yeah.
with Jim Gordon, and apparently Wonder Woman's smiling during it. And there's that banter between Jim and Batman.
And then Gordon turns around, and when he turns back around, the whole Justice League is gone except
Yeah.
for the Flash. And he stands there and he's like, "Oh yeah, they did the thing."
And then that does that because he's the speedster. It's
Yeah. Of course, he's the last one to
That's
move.
pretty great. So I mean, yeah, I'm excited for the film. At least with all this news so far.
It gives me more hope than what I had at the end of BVS.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, the BBS was really worrying. I think it was this Thursday, I was saying, like, if Suicide Squad doesn't do well, that will kill the franchise and will
Yeah.
be done. But honestly, I don't think it matters if Suicide Squad does well now. If this movie delivers as much as it's anticipating to, and they're only 30 some odd days
Am I the only one that's more excited for like Wonder Woman than some of these other ones? Like I really want to see
Yeah,
this Wonder
I'm
Woman
really
movie.
all about Wonder Woman.
Especially after seeing her in BBS.
She really
I will-
did steal the show and make people want more.
I'm just a little sad we're not going to see, like, the cultural difference, like, the ignorant, like, cultural ignorance from her.
Yeah.
Because we have Wonder Woman right now who's used to man's world at this point. She knows what's going on.
Yeah, but that is in present day. This movie's taking place when she first comes to man's world.
Yeah,
So we
I
might
just
have
mean
that.
in Justice League.
Oh yeah.
I wish they were going to be apart. But yeah, no, this movie could save the franchise if they do it well. If they treat continuity like it's not flexible.
Yeah.
Another thing we found out Willem Dafoe is going to be Vulko, and
That's just for the Aquaman movie, though, isn't it?
no, this is Justice League,
No,
isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
It's Justice
thought
League.
it said for the Aquaman movie.
Is it?
Yeah, because he's playing the villain for the Aquaman movie, which
I could have swore there was a Vulko.
it's for because
Just in
the
case.
villain for Justice League is Steppenwolf.
Well, yeah,
the
but that doesn't
villain
mean they can't
for-
have like.
Like,
Because what I thought was it could be just a cameo when they go to.
yeah, he could be fighting him or something like.
No.
There could
I
be-
mean, when they go
Hey.
to Atlantis, because he's one of Aquaman. He's
Oh,
the
yeah,
hand
yeah,
of the king to Atlantis, and I mean that it could just be a cameo there. They set him up with that, and then he is one of the protagonists in Aquaman.
I feel like the one that I read said that he was it was talking about him being the villain for Aquaman, and it's
If you
kind of
read
a
the one that I
far-fetched
sent
villain.
you, then that was more of a history of what Vulko is. Letting you know, like, this is who Vulko is, in case you didn't know. Because I mean, personally, I think it's kind of a stupid Aquaman villain choice.
Yeah.
It could prove interesting
He's-
what I found out about Vulko, but still, I
He's
never
a
heard of
political
him.
villain.
I never heard
That's-
of him before.
that's why.
That's why I asked you. I'm like,
I knew
wait,
about-
who's William Dafoe playing?
I knew
Oh,
about
who's that?
Black Manta
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Mara.
Sea. Is it
kinda.
Seamaster? Or-
Yeah, I guess there's a
Ocean
sea-
Master.
Ocean Master. Yeah. So Black Manta,
there's a
Mara,
couple.
and Ocean Master. Those are the only three I really know off the top of my head. And then he's a part of the Justice League. So you don't really have a lot of material to work off of, but you got better than Vulko.
Yeah.
Who, if you don't know, Vulko is, let's go with the New 52 continuity, which is, he's a hand of the king, who ends up, turning on Aquaman when he feels like he's not fit for the throne, and challenging him and everything.
He's a very back and forth kind of
He's an
character.
anti-villain, actually, I think. He's kind of a greater good type, too, because he ends up, in the New 52, imprisoned for leading this, not secret war, but kind of a civil war type thing, that
Or a
the
secret
whole
Civil War?
point was to get Aquaman to where he needed to be, so he could properly lead Atlantis. And hundreds of people die, as was part of the plan. He knew this was going to happen. So he's kind of one of those greater good villains. He's
Yeah.
willing to sacrifice hundreds of people for a more
To-
prosperous future.
Yes.
So that's why I say he could be interesting. I don't think it's a flop choice, but I think they could have done better.
Well, I don't think they wanted to just completely shoot their whole load and just bring in Black Manta right there.
Yeah, but
That's
I
kinda
don't think
what I
we're gonna
thought,
have
but-
3 Aquaman
No.
movies either. We'll
Well-
be lucky to get to 2 if Aquaman does any good.
With who's playing Aquaman and
And
with as passionate as
That
he
doesn't.
is
That doesn't.
about
That
this,
doesn't necessarily mean anything.
yeah.
We've had people that's passionate about roles, and just the movies were kind of
And,
shit.
and who's playing it is, I like the guy. Just like he would not in a
That
million
wasn't-
years be my choice for Aquaman.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see where they're going with this character. They're trying to give him a little bit of
Yeah.
balls and make him look badass.
And
And
I
it's
think-
Aquaman. Aquaman catches fucking the butt of everybody's fucking jokes.
And I
as
think
far
one
as
of the
comics go.
things about this character, they threw away kind of an important part of Aquaman's character, and the fact that he's blonde, because it's actually an abnormality for Atlanteans
Yeah,
to be
to be
blonde,
yeah.
which is actually originally in the original continuity with Vulko, when Arthur is born, the king at that time wants to have him cast out. They want to exile him. Just throw a baby out there, let him die. And Vulko ends up overthrowing that king to save Arthur.
In one of the continuities, wasn't Aquaman half Atlantean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's New 52.
I think it is because I know that in the Throne of Atlantis animated movie, they kind of go into that a little bit.
And I've heard it mentioned in the comics.
And I have it. I have yet to read it or watch it.
But yeah, so he could be good. But at the same time, like they've changed his hair, which kind of like steals a little part of him away.
Minus not having a hook hand, he's kind of like that late '90s, like
But even that one was blonde.
Yeah, but he still had the long hair and beard and looked more rugged and stuff. But yeah, he's.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the best I got.
That's about it.
And I think one of the last things that there were a variety of different articles about, actually, and I don't see why it wasn't just one fucking article about all these different things. But apparently, Batman and his whole, what would you call it? Not mechanic, but technological inventing skills, whatever you would call it. They're going to play a big part in this because apparently he's making gadgets for all the members of the Justice League.
It's supposed to be like revamping a lot of their suits.
Yeah, I know he's making Flash a more streamlined suit from his aircraft parts.
And he's making new vehicles in preparation for all this stuff that he's been showing, because he's been having those visions in BVS.
With all this, you think Batman had a lot of money or something?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Like
maybe
the
he's
crawler,
friends with
the crawler, which has these big spider legs and cannons,
a flamethrower
for killing parademons.
So, speaking of parademons, are going to be a huge part of this because there's a tower with a parademon nest.
Okay,
and
that I'm excited for.
A lot of sense because of the dark side.
That I'm excited for because I just want to see more parademons because I love those. Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel like by this point, especially with superhero movies, we're starting to get a little played out on the waves of drones, like with Ultron.
It's also one of those hard things to avoid.
It
seems like a lot of the biggest bads have them.
Yeah. But I hope by the time that comes out, we're not all like, oh, fuck, here we go with waves of the same enemies.
Yeah. But it also gives you cool scenes, like in Age of Ultron, when they're all in that little dome area.
Or the scene where, Cap throws a shield, fucking Thor hits it with the hammer. It's all in the wrist.
The cool thing about these parademons are we have the different ranks of the
the
different sizes. Yeah. So we may have, a
big
wave of, the little guys coming in. They just get, swatted down.
I can see some heavies come in and, God, that would be...
With, whatever the hell they're going to use and just start banging the shit out of everyone, beating them down.
They're just banging the shit, gang banging that Justice League.
And then Wonder Woman's really smiling.
Yeah.
Aquaman just sitting there in the corner
Aquaman's like it too.
Batman's hiding behind a bush.
He's like, it's okay, I'm gonna help.
I'm gonna shoot somebody in the face with this grenade.
I swear to God, Batman's big part is still hiding in the back. But yeah, Batman's got the crawler, and then the flying fox, which is essentially their helicarrier, not helicarrier, but Quinjet vehicle, which is capable of carrying the entire Justice League and a Batmobile in tow.
And is it also like a little mini mobile home base? So I'm assuming they probably have some back computers and shit on there.
They didn't go into whether it's a home base type thing, but I would assume as much.
They better have all right. Would you rather have the Hall of Justice or the Watchtower?
I think the Hall of Justice is too impractical for these days.
Oh yeah, because you just get blown up.
Because it's hey, there's right downtown in the middle of this bustling metropolis is a building where all the superheroes are hanging out.
And then right next to that,
let's fuck shit up.
And then there's a Chick-fil-A right next door.
It's what's to stop Lex from being nuclear weapons?
Yeah.
And then it's done. Oh, there was another piece of info. Is apparently Lex is supposed to be a part of this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there is one bad thing that we found out about the movie.
Yeah.
But see, here's my thing
Jesse
about a
Eisenberg.
vehicle like that. Oh yeah, the Justice League is all gonna ride in together on this one flying ship. Almost all of them can fly.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
Cyborg
run
can
at
fly.
super fast speed.
The Flash is fast. Superman's fast and can fly.
But
Wonder
he's
Woman
dead.
couldn't fly. Can she fly in these movies?
I think we'll.
They've showed her like leap extremely
Yeah.
far. I have
They
not
haven't
seen
shown
her fly.
yet, so we don't know about that yet. Although I did hear that there will be no invisible jet, so yeah, I'm assuming she's gonna fly.
Or she's just gonna use the fucking flying fox.
Yeah, she's just gonna steal the
Or
flying.
she's gonna
maybe
jump.
maybe the flying fox later becomes her invisible jet because Batman decides, you know what, I'm just gonna go back with the Batwing. You can have this.
Maybe
I'm gonna
maybe
put
it
this
is
like cloaking device on it that makes it look invisible. It's not really invisible, but it's
I think
invisible to everybody else.
there
type of
might
thing.
be a scene where Batman shows up with the flying fox. He's like, I created it for all of us. and Superman's like,
Made this.
yeah, but.
Yeah.
And the Flash is like,
The
I
Flash
think
is
I
like,
can get there faster.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's like, sorry, bro.
And then Cyborg's like, rocket boots, dude.
No,
Wait, right,
Cyborg's like boom tube. There.
And
Boom
he's like,
tubes. There's no
Aquaman-
need for any other transportation.
Batman's like, I like a lot of space, and I like my friends to be with me, and I
Aquaman's
might
like,
need my
you
Batmobile.
can take me as far as the ocean, then I'm swimming.
Yeah. She's like, as long as there's like water surrounding, I can swim a lot faster than this thing.
Everyone
Exactly.
leaves, and Batman's just sitting there. He's like, but I made a sweet mixtape.
But I made a cheese
Here
ball.
I am with open arms. Hold on to you.
Oh, please continue.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I want that.
We
scene.
get the sad Batman.
Sad
No one
Sad
knows
flank
what
again.
it's like to be the sad.
Hello, darkness.
Your friend. Yes.
This is him driving the flying box and just zooming in on him.
Simon and Garfunkel singing in the background.
I want it. No, see, they're all about new fucking songs. So it's gonna be Missy Elliott.
And Fall Out Boy. Na 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 Batman.
Bitch, darkness, my friend.
No, it'll be Tech 9.
Oh god.
And it'll be dubstep.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, the flying fox sounds cool to me though. Although impractical, unless there is like, this is their first Watchtower-esque type thing.
Yeah.
They've got a little meeting. They're planning.
I have a
whatever.
feeling that by the end of the movie, it's going to get destroyed by somebody or
Because
something.
otherwise, it's just a way for Batman to bring the Batmobile to other places.
That's really all it is. Fuck, I guess I'll throw a couple extra sheets in there for
know
you
what?
assholes.
Really?
but-
That might be what it is. He built it for himself. They're all like, "Where's our seats?" He's like,
Fine.
"Fuck yeah."
You get some lawn chairs.
He
You can sit in the Batmobile.
he puts the second Batmobile back in the garage.
Where are we going to sit? Whoop. It just like it pulls out in the back. Right there. Just Indian style on the floor.
But yeah, I think that really wraps up the news that came out for Justice League. A lot of news though. I mean that was a pretty cool play on their part. It shows that they're confident.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, not that they weren't confident in Batman vs Superman.
They were pretty fucking confident with Batman vs Superman.
But they didn't pull anything like
No.
this. It had a great advertising campaign, but I mean, they're only 30 days into production,
And to
and
do
they're
something
bringing
like
the press.
this.
Yeah, they're releasing tons of information.
And not only that, but we saw a picture a few months back with, it was Zack Snyder and, was it Jason Momoa? And you could
Yeah.
see some of the suits and some of the things in the background that were
Yeah,
that
that
were being
was
ready.
that's where that tactical bat suit idea came in, where they thought it
Yeah,
was.
they thought it was Nightwing.
Oh, okay, that
image.
was that suit.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I didn't
Yeah.
know which one you're talking
So yeah, it shows confidence. I'm glad to hear that, like across the board, people are reporting that they're listening to fans. A lot of the things fans have been saying, on the large part, is what a lot of the press saw. They're lightening the tone because no fucking shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
I also heard mentioned that Batman will
be a little nicer.
Yeah,
and not
he's-
kill as many people.
He's
this time around.
well, apparently the death of Superman has reformed his.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. He better
his
come
faith
back
in
in the black
humanity.
suit, silver ass, and a motherfucking mullet, or I will be pissed. They did mention that he will be coming back with
I'm-
longer hair.
I'm okay
It-
without the mullet.
No, no, goddammit. He needs to come back and be like, bro, where did you go where it was okay to have that mullet? Someone cut the top. It's not like you're just in there and it's growing, bro.
Yeah.
Someone cut the top for you.
I'm sure it'll be some sort of like one of those Kryptonian bot things, like
It
goes
is
and
like-
extracts him and takes him.
It's
to
a
the fortress.
Kryptonian, like, royal hairstyle mullet.
Well, I mean, if you look at Jor-El in Man of Steel, he's no longer
yeah.
hair, yeah.
Russell Crowe did come
Russell Crowe went for it. But yeah, and you know, Man of Steel I liked, but
I did too.
I
I think it catches a lot more shit
don't
than what
I
it
don't
should.
think the feel of the feel should have been more. I'm okay with the tone of the film, but not the visual tone. Like, it's a Superman movie.
Yeah, it
Fucking
shouldn't.
let the sun shine. God
Yeah.
damn.
Well, that's like I keep saying. These guys redid all of the contrast and brightness and everything, and made a lot of the different scenes
Yeah.
bright, like they
And
should.
they
it
showed
almost
what it
ma-
could have
and
looked
it
like.
changed it so drastically in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's like, why
That
the fuck did
looked
they
like
do
a
this?
Superman movie.
Like, I understand, Zach, that you had Sucker Punch and Watchmen and 300. Yeah, you could do those in that kind of
And I get
visual
Batman
tone.
versus Superman being dark as fuck.
Yes,
but-
because it was more Batman oriented than it was Superman.
Yeah,
Even though it was.
like, come on, Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Man of Steel was a bad foot out of the door. And
I'm not even gonna
I'm
get
saying
you-
that for a movie I like.
I'm not even going to get you started on Paul Kent.
We won't go there.
Yeah.
All right, but what you do need to talk about is your favorite internet provider.
Well, guys, this is the part in the show where we like to thank our unofficial non-sponsor,
Our unofficial anti-sponsor.
our unofficial anti-sponsor, Frontier Communications. Frontier Communications is the shitty internet service that'll go out randomly throughout the day, and when you call to complain about that or the mystery charges on your bill that they'll lie to you about when you sign up, they will hang up on you. Twice if need be. Frontier Communications. They're fucking me. They shouldn't be fucking you.
They are also known to kidnap babies, club
Seals.
I'm
seals
pretty sure.
and kittens.
I'm pretty sure.
They actually fill bags with kittens and then club the seals with those kittens.
their employee of the month was Guy Gardner.
fucking-
so,
fucking Guy Gardner.
Fucking Guy Gardner. So,
So-
yeah, they're all bad.
But on a brighter note, we still have that giveaway going on.
We do still have that giveaway going
and
on.
it's almost over with.
Yeah, very, very close to over. It might be over with by the time this goes up.
I don't think so.
What, today's the 26th? This will
No.
be up on the 29th?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll.
So okay, you still have 2 days if you're listening to this day when it goes up. And if you didn't hear episode 3, or I think you got mentioned in episode 4, if you want
we refused to tell them.
about it in
About-
episode. Well, I'm gonna tell them in this one. if you use the hashtag fuck Frontier,
Hashtag fuck Frontier.
hashtag fuck Frontier on the giveaway post, which is pinned to the top of our Facebook page, Sorta My Brand, not Sorta My Comics, you get an extra 5 entries on top of all the other possible entries. Read the post. Because I've seen some people are like, they'll comment on the post, but they didn't like the post. Like, why not go for that extra entry? Or they'll share the post, but they didn't comment on the post or like the post. Or they'll like the page, but they didn't pay attention to the post. What the fuck? So, yes, read the post. There are at least 27 possible entries that you can get into this giveaway.
And roughly how many people do we have?
How many people
in
do we
this?
have?
Just how
Actually,
many
you know what?
people?
On
Not entries, just
no, not
different
entries,
people.
but I mean I have them right in this notebook. I don't know what, like, that's
Wow.
at
How
least,
many how many lines per page is on there?
let's see here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24. So we've got 23
24.
here, 24 here, so that's 47.
That's
and
half, about half
a
of
bunch
it. There's
here,
about
yeah.
60.
So we've got about 60 people in there
So
already.
There's probably at least a couple hundred entrants.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And
More of those 60
there's-
people, first off, you need to start listening to this.
There's only
They're
about
not list all 60. We don't have fucking 60 people listening to
Yeah.
this. So all you guys
uh,
that are being part of this,
and only
damn
about
giveaway,
2 or
listen.
3 of these people have paid attention to what was in that post. So read that post, and you might get a leg up on some of these other guys.
Don't just
yeah.
feed off of what you see other people posting.
Yeah.
I know the
Read the
hashtag has
banana
been
post.
posted, and some people
Yeah.
probably fed off of that.
No, actually, there's only one person who hashtag fucked Frontier.
and I think that was Shane, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was
Yeah.
Shane. So, yeah.
So thank you,
guys,
Shane, for listening.
if you want that mystery 5 entries, hashtag fucked Frontier right there. Which actually, I went onto Facebook and I typed in hashtag fuck Frontier. There are apparently a lot of people hate the Frontier Airlines too, and I didn't know that was a thing. But there are a lot of hashtag
Well, fuck
fuck
them
Frontiers
too.
out there unrelated to our podcast for Frontier
Either way.
Communications. No, I'm just saying that makes me happy. But yeah, check that post out. Guys, you can also see us on Instagram, on Twitter.
Which
at,
we need to get more active on Twitter if we're going to.
I think we need to get more active on Instagram too, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Sort of My Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can like Sort of My Brand and Sort of My Comics on Facebook. YouTube, Sort of My Brand. That's where, if you're not listening to this on SoundCloud, that's really the only other place. Oh no, yeah, there's Google Music.
We are on
there's
Google
iTunes.
Music. We are on iTunes. So
Yeah.
almost anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find. Well,
Yeah.
some of the main places that
Yeah.
people listen through their podcasts is iTunes.
Yeah,
So tell people.
yeah.
You know,
We're
out
also
there.
on vinyl, if that's your thing.
We're
8-track, we're still
selling
working
mixed
on.
cassette
Like,
tapes.
Contact us for a small additional fee
My
of
phone number
$3.99.99.
is
You can get us on vinyl.
my phone number is 675-3009. Just give me a call. No, but yeah. And don't forget to share. If you really enjoy our podcast, let other people experience it too. Tell them about it. Share it with them. Let them know.
And if you despise our podcast and absolutely hate us, lie, tell them that it's the best podcast you ever listened to, and suggest us.
It's a really mean joke.
Yeah.
Tell them we give out
On
free
to-
stuff at the
to
end of every
everyone.
episode.
Literally, you're the only person who wins there.
Yeah.
You ruined their day. You made us feel bad. But hey, you won.
You know what? You feel a little better about yourself now, don't you?
Guys, my name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human.
I'm Mr. Bob Collins, Boba Fett.
I am James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
And this is the part of the show where we cue that badass outro music.